a mask no one plays fair. Spill the coffee, spill the truth. Every state a story proof. True crime cafe whispers in the night. Truth hides in shadows under buzzing light. True crime cafe, no escape, no way. The secrets spill out before the break of day. Who's the liar? Who's the saint? Who's the sinner behind the paint? Every mugshot a shattered soul. Every corner hides a darkened hole. Darkened hole. True crime cafe whispers in the night. Truth hides in shadows under buzzing light. True crime cafe, no escape, no way. The secrets spill out before the break of day.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back in business. Cafe is open again. Welcome back. Great to see you all back here again tonight, guys. Instead of reading the next set of documents, let's take a little break from the blank and talk about what I've reviewed to this point, discuss it with an open panel as we do, an open discussion, and break down some of the stuff we've heard as to what we think of these interesting pieces of information we've gotten and some other things we've heard recently with this. It's very interesting to say the least. So come on in, grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's do this thing. I will pin the link here in a second for anybody that would like to join me. I want to hear your thoughts, feelings, opinions, please. And make sure you share this out, guys. Hit the like button on the way through the door. Yeah, hit that blank button if you would, like Miss Candy said, please. And thank you. And leave us a little DNA in here so we know exactly who you are and you don't miss a thing. Make sure you hit that notification bell. If you're not subscribed yet, please do that if you would. And please share this out to all your friends, family, the neighbor, the mailman, the dog running down the street thinking he might be interested. Who knows? But please do it if you would. Thank you so very much. Come on in. You know what comes next, folks. Here we go. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Grab a cup of Joe and let's go, y'all. I'm going to give a few minutes and let everybody jump in here that wants to jump in here. Like I said, we're going to take a little break tonight. That was a lot, y'all. reading that blank, 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 blankety, blank, blank, blank is just a lot. So I'll get back to that tomorrow. Tonight, we're going to review what we've reviewed and talk about it. Um, there's a lot of interesting things that have come out. There's a lot of questions. I have so many more questions than I had before I even started reading these from before. These aren't answering questions, they're making more. So that I'm here to discuss for sure. And everything else we've pulled out of this is very interesting. Welcome. Let's see what we got in here, by the way. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay. Welcome, Dustin. Thank you for joining us already. Thank you for being here. Welcome everybody in so far, and I'll be back here with you, sir. SRBBBB. Of course, welcome Dustin Butler to the panel tonight. Miss Tandy Seahawks fans in the house. Michael Green and his chili chicken. Welcome to the house, my friend. Welcome to the cafe. Circus Music. Welcome back, dear Dory. Good to see you again. Just keeps on swimming, swimming, swimming right on through. Katie Batts, welcome back to you. Hemisphere, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Michelle F, welcome back. James Moen, always a pleasure, my friend. And of course, Miss Diana with Dagburn. Johnny Gobble's dead floozy mama's in the house. Good to see you, Diane. Thank you so much. Beep, 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 beep. Welcome, Miss Bluesy. Blank, blank to you too. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Tomboy Charm flying in. Good to see you tonight. Annie Ruler from Vegas, welcome. Good to see you all the way from Vegas. Great to have you here tonight.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for everybody being here tonight. Appreciate it very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us, Dustin.
You're welcome.
Beep, 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 Miss Lucy. Thank you to my blue crew for jumping in here. I appreciate that so very much. CJAG, welcome. Thank you for being here. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you will, please, and thank you. Share this out so we can get this in an algorithm. Let's see if we can hit that 100 likes, folks. I know you can do it. You've done it before. Come on in. Come on in.
We can do it. We just got to keep liking it alive and sharing it alive. We can get there.
That'll work. Was that a burp? Burp. Burp. Thank you, James. Appreciate that. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, CJAG. Again, y'all share it out. Let everybody know what we're doing. Like I said, we're going to take a little break from the blank, blankety, blank, and just discuss all that blank stuff and talk about it. As I think that's the way we should do this, is we should go through, do the reading, and then the next show, discuss everything we found in the reading. We can refer back to different different reports if we need to break things down, discuss them, because there's a lot of information coming out, folks. There's 590 some odd. I think Paul said that he got through them all. 596 or 97 of them. That's a lot. Okay,
Yep.
Almost
and
double.
And it also brings. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it also brings up a lot of questions for me because I already had questions, but I have more questions.
That's what these are doing, Dustin, and I think even SRB keeps saying that too. That every time we get more reports or documents dropped to us, it brings more questions. It doesn't answer any.
Yes. Also, like I said, I see a lot of red. I said earlier, and I will say it again. I see a lot of red flags. You know, it brings
Yes.
up a lot. It brings up a lot of stuff to me that it's not being answered. I don't know why they're not answering it. But as we get more and more and more, I get more confused. To be honest with you,
That's what it.
I feel like I'm. As I've been watching this whole entire case, I feel like I'm getting more confused in this whole entire situation. I don't think I'm getting any. Hopefully, I don't feel like we're getting anywhere, but I don't know why that is. But I think they need to be more open and honest for what really happened because I don't think we're getting anywhere. I feel like we're getting somewhere, but every time I feel like we're getting somewhere, I feel like we get more confusing. So I don't know
Well,
what
we're
goes.
getting more information. I have to agree with that one, but we're not getting any more answers. So we're getting more information, but no more answers and no truth. Okay. We're getting
Right.
some truths, but we're not getting answers to the situation at hand, the case itself. And that's the problem here as to why, excuse me, in my opinion, this happened like this. Okay. It shouldn't.
Right.
And it needs to be important. It needs to be important to people because this is us, folks. This can happen to me. It can happen to you, Dustin. It can happen to anybody else in here.
It could happen to everybody on this
Right.
channel in this live.
Megastar. Good to see you, Meg. Thank you for joining us, dear.
Mhm.
But yes, sir, it can happen to any one of us. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier too. Hemisphere is right. As I started reading through, it seems like the further we get ahead, the more blanks there are. They've redacted so much of this. Like, why did you even put this out to give us a few
My
stupid
question is,
words?
why was so much of it redacted?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Why was so much of it being hidden for? What? Don't even put it out. Don't even put it out because
That's what I mean. Like, why are
you're
you redacting everything? Why are you
you're,
hiding all this?
you're just trying to cover your tracks, in my opinion. Uh, you know, we're gonna find out somehow, some way or another. One of these days, we will find out some way or another. I don't know how, but we will sooner than later. But
Hopefully.
I don't feel like why even put it out for if you're gonna redact most of it for. Um, as the members of the public, I feel like we have a right to know what goes on. I feel like that would, this case has been all over the news, and it's been all over my news feed from day one, and it will be continued to be on my news feed, probably. But I'm getting more and more confusion from it.
Absolutely. And that's the problem. Welcome, Pagan Ways. And yes, I agree to hide the truth. That's a fact. Annie has a great point here, too. Why is it? And we've seen many other trials, folks, and many other cases. Why has no other trial redacted their reports and their documents like this? Truly.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I also watch other trials as well, and I've never seen something like this in my life. This
no.
is the first time I ever seen something like this. And
Right,
it's
right.
really eye opening to me. Why is it like this for, and what's the reason for it?
This is true. Very true. Lisa Wilson, welcome. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Josie West, my dear, wonderful to see you again. Welcome back. Come on in, grab a seat. Megatron, the Megastars in the house. Again, thank you to my blue crew for popping in here and doing your thing. Again, could never do it without you folks, so thank you. And welcome everybody to a little Dago After Dark. I've been trying to get in here and do these nighttime shows as well. Tonight, we're doing it. Good to see you, True Seeker. I hope you're feeling better. I'm sorry to hear that. Good. I'm glad you're here with us. We got 42 peeps in the house, 33 likes. Come on, guys. Let's see if we can make that match. Paco, welcome. Jessica Volk, welcome back. Yeah, I did catch up on Pob's new video. It was quite interesting. He pointed out something really interesting. He pointed out the fact that they did point out a few specific people that we're going to talk about here. And he's going to let loose on who he thinks the number one is tomorrow. So I'll be catching up with that. I like his opinion. I do. I don't always agree with everything he says, but quite often lately, he's been making a lot of sense. So you guys go check it out. Go check him out. No, not everybody. He's not everybody's cup of tea, and I understand completely. There's Bianca. I thought you were mad at me, Bianca. I tried to send you a message in Discord and said that I couldn't. We weren't on the same server anymore. I thought you blocked me or something, but welcome. It's wonderful to see you. I'm glad you're here.
Oh, you got a Discord?
I do, yes, sir. We just we advertise it all the time, bud.
I didn't know. I'm not in the Discord. Okay, I'm not in the Discord, so I'm sorry about it. Little late to the Discord.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. It's not for everybody. I understand.
Yeah.
It is wonderful to see Miss Bianca. Guys, you gotta go check out her channel. She's so talented too, just like our Miss Molly with the music and stuff she's been putting out. It's great
Is there
stuff.
any way you can send me the link to the Discord so I can join the Discord?
Yeah, we can get you in there.
Okay.
That's not a problem. If we get Brandy in here, she'll get you hooked up.
All right.
Maybe, hopefully. We'll get you hooked up, buddy. Just remind me down if we get through this and we don't get you the link, just remind us, okay?
That's okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. 54 peeps, 38 likes. We're getting there. Come on in, y'all. Oh, yeah. I definitely have questions about him. and a couple other people, and we're working on another name from somebody else, and we still haven't come up with it, but
hope everybody's having a great day today, though. Mm-hmm.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Alligato, I love your name, Alligato. That's cute. Welcome, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for joining and thank you for joining the live today.
All right, there's how you can get into the Discord, bud. Just right there is all you got to do. You send an email over to our Brandy at mom of 350 at AOL.com. Just title it in the email that you want to get into the Discord, and she will get the link to you.
All right, thank you. I'll work on that after we get up to live.
Absolutely. That's how we do it here. Let me see. I'll make sure I'm not missing anybody. Just use the pod block from Little Pop Dom. You're a mess, Lucy. We're always happy to have you here, Josie. You're part of the family. I must say, if it's true that MM ate pasta with hands, Cole's DNA got under after 2 a.m. That's interesting. That's an interesting theory. Interesting thought.
Mm-hmm.
Grab a seat, guys. Get comfortable. Come on in. Please and thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Let me look at something while I'm waiting on you guys. I think we got 6 days, as I was told.
6 days. 6 days until when? Till what?
Till Brian's time is up for appeal. In that aspect.
I thought they could already appeal it. I guess he had to wait 6 more days.
No, he can at any time during this period of time, but he had 42 days total.
Oh, okay.
Miss Joanne, welcome back to you. I think we're coming up on that.
So do you think it's going to appeal it? Though?
I don't know, bud. Adrian, welcome back. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I hope to see something.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I don't know.
All we can do is hope and pray for the best.
Right. That's it right there. And hopefully it'll bring the truth to us. Sounds like you're about to go to sleep, bud.
No, I don't. I'm okay. It's just been a long day for me. It's
right. There's Eddie. Welcome back, bud. Let's see here.
I've been watching all kinds of court TV and trials today. Yeah.
That'll do it. Welcome back, Texas Ranger. Good to see you. Yes, we did miss you earlier this afternoon, my Betty. That's all right.
Yeah, I was here earlier too. I was very surprised to see it all. Most of it blacked out. You know, redacted. I didn't expect it to be that much redacted.
There's a whole lot. I was surprised myself. I expect it seems like the further we get into these documents, the more that's redacted. So,
have you ever seen that before in a case?
Well, yeah, the JFK case. That's about it. That's what it looks like to me. It reminds me of the JFK case.
Yeah. I didn't even see that. I didn't see that much redacted in the Lori Vallow case.
There wasn't at all. Well, Delphi had a lot of redactions too, but this is insane. Welcome, Stitches. Good trouble. Good to see you tonight, Mountain Mama. Welcome back to you. I think I got everybody so far. So, like I said, guys, just to catch you guys up. For those of you just popping in here, we're not going to be reading tonight because I read my blank off earlier. and we're just going to review and talk about the things we've learned from from reviewing these reports recently,
Yeah, and
past
I was
couple
here for
days,
the.
whatnot, and
I
we'll
was
get
here for
back.
the.
Go ahead.
I was here for the whole thing earlier today because I was very interested in this case. So I've been here the
Oh,
whole afternoon.
of course. But we'll
Yeah,
get back to reading tomorrow,
yeah.
because there's more to come. Unfortunately, there's so much more to come, but we will get back to that in the morning. But tonight, I just want to review and casually discuss what we've learned, what we haven't learned as of yet, but what we've made, how can I say this? Break down what we have learned and talk about the issues within what we've learned so far and
Yeah.
how it relates. So,
Mhm.
the link is pinned. Just Amber, welcome. At the top of the chat again already. If anybody would like to join me up here, feel free. Let's hear
Yeah.
your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this. That's what it's all about. Breaking it down tonight.
Yeah.
Randy Fur, my brother, good to see you tonight.
I hope you had a good day, Diego. Yeah, I hope you had a good day today.
Well, it's been good. I get to hang out with all you guys, so that's good for me. But
Yeah.
it's been good so far, and I'm doing well. I
Good.
appreciate that.
Good.
Yeah, I can agree with that, Texas. He definitely that whole the gag and Bill and all that messed everything up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Let me see. Show. Okay. And don't worry, folks. We won't be here in nowhere near as long as we were for the readings because there's
Yeah.
no point in it. But
Yeah.
I did. And I was thinking about possibly reviewing some of that while we're doing this, Joanne. Good point.
Hmm.
Yeah. There was a whole thing with that, folks, and it actually happened. So
Oh.
the FBI interviewed the officer who received a phone call about it. That's right. Makes you wonder.
Yeah.
In fact, we might start with that and give you guys that to look at, and then we'll discuss the other stuff. Here. One minute. Michelle F., hello and welcome. Good to see you.
Hmm.
One minute. Good evening, Mr. Randy.
Good,
Can you hear
good
me?
evening. Yeah,
I can.
we can
How
hear
are
you.
you?
Hey guys,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear everybody. I'm sitting here in front of an old laptop and
Okay.
okay. All right. I had to turn the other thing off.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now I'm good. I'm good. Wow, I'm sitting here in front of an old laptop that I had no idea it had a camera and a microphone. So wow. Hey, how you doing, Dustin? How you doing, Diego?
Doing good. How you
I'm
doing
doing
this
good,
evening?
buddy.
What are we
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about?
Well, we're going to be reviewing and discussing, while breaking down the things that we've learned by reading these documents these past few days, Randy. These were the reports they put out from Idaho State Police and seeing what we can come up with there. I will say, real quick though, in chat over here. I noticed, yeah, that guys, the other case that I've been following, for those of you that have been following it with me, the Mickey Steins and Kevin Mullen situation. Holy shit. That's a can of worms that's a mess, folks. That is a huge mess, and it's about to get way, way worse. Really bad.
Which case? Diego,
It's
which case?
Mickey Steins, Kevin Mullins, the sheriff that shot the judge in his chambers on camera and killed him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's people coming out and speaking, which I said at some point people are going to start talking. Well, they're really talking. Really talking. It's getting crazy.
I had a feeling that there had to be a little bit more than him just going in there and just start shooting. He had to start messing with his daughter, no doubt. That would drive a man to do that.
And for those of you that are following that with us here, we'll get back to that here in a couple of days or so, probably a day or so, and give the review, the updates on it, because it is crazy, y'all, and I mean crazy. It's kind of what I've been saying, like I've been thinking might be going on, but there's way more to it, and a lot more people involved, and it's kind of like all we could do, because we watched a little bit of it. I was with the mods in Discord in a meeting we had, and we watched it, and we were all just kind of sitting there going, wow, it's nuts. It's nuts. Me too, Good Trouble. I really wanted to know what that was all about, because you don't see that happen on a regular basis, but that is a mess. So 58 peeps in the house, guys. Please make sure to hit the like button. We're going to get started off with, there he is.
Yeah.
Good to see you, sir.
My wife just brought me a light because you were sitting here in the dark in the kitchen, just hanging out. Ooh. Wow. I like it.
It works. It definitely works.
I tried to turn my camera on the other night, and it just kicked me out of here. So,
right. No problem, buddy. No problem. Yeah, they're saying now that and more bullshit that Brian said the roommates' names. More bullshit. Ridiculous.
You see me?
Oh yeah, hillbilly crime.
All the content creators that I pay attention to, they pretty much said the same thing. There's not one thing that they have said, anything that implicates Brian Kohlberger at all, in any documents that has been released at this given time. None.
You are absolutely correct.
And all the guilters out there, the narrative drivers out there, is pushing that narrative. So I never ever seen a case like this before. This is just beyond.
And we ain't never going to either after this, I don't think. I hope not, at least. This is insane.
After a while of following the case, eventually the killer is going to show itself, and you're going to know who exactly it was. This right here, we didn't get that. Oh,
well, not at least not in our, not to where we can see it in front of us. You know what I mean? Hemisphere. It's one of them things. I feel like obviously it's been hidden for a reason. Okay, and at some point it may come out, but not by their own volition. So,
right.
Welcome, like Boston. Gem 7.
I mean, you redacted pretty much half of it, the whole daggone thing that you put out there.
Agreed. Yeah, there's so much redacted. Like I said, the further we get into this, the more that they're redacting. You guys heard me today. For those of you that were here, every other word was blank, 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 but blank, blank. He said blank, 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 and then she said blank, blank, blank.
I gotta be honest with you, Diego. I was watching that, and it really started getting like boring because you had more blanks than words. Yep. And it was just it's just crazy. What I redacted all that stuff.
They redacted it all, Randy. They redacted anything of any. They even redacted words like and yeah. They just like it was stupid. They started like blackline and everything. It's nuts. So
what's the point? What's the point of putting that stuff out?
just to make people happy, so people will shut up. They're going to say, well, we gave it to you. There it is. It's what you wanted.
Yeah. No.
It's not enough. Well, I don't know. I agree with you, Meanie. The more we read what the things we can actually get out of this, the less I am, the less I can say that I feel that Brian could have had anything to do with this. And I've been saying that now for a while, that he's absolutely 100% completely innocent in my mind. But the more I read, the more justified I am in saying that. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I agree. Yep. I do agree. Jen 7, good to see you. Boston, thank you for joining us, dear. Let me see. I think I got.
For me, the information that we've gotten through the docs does not justify Kohlberger's plea deal at all. And the more and more as it goes along, I just can't keep harping on that. It just does not add up.
Yes, sir. Not even remotely. Not even remotely.
And I get it. He's got autism, but still, that does not mean anything.
Nothing at all.
He can put 2 and 2 together and be able to make a rational decision about it. And I just can't get my head around that. He's been there all this time. Right. He should know, hey, look, y'all ain't got nothing on me. But
I agree.
And now he's trying to screw himself up at the same time, because my thing is, what angle I like for us to think about is, what grounds of appeal you think Kohlberger can do to make this situation right, if there's anything to do it. And I've been digging around trying to find it, and there's really, outside of prosecutorial misconduct or change of
absolutely
change of
welcome, legendary. Thank you for joining us.
But anyway, there's really not much he can do.
Right. Yeah.
So somewhere down the line in these docs, I'm just saying, keep that in the back of your mind. Maybe, that right there, because I keep going back to Cyrate. Because when Ann Taylor was trying to go to Hitler about Cyrate, he said it. That's pretty damning. That's pretty damning towards the prosecution and getting somebody fired. Right. But he did not want to. He didn't want to bring it into the hearing. He'd rather hear it in the trial itself. But we didn't get that.
Yeah.
So all that's got thrown. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I don't know. Yeah, what y'all think?
What? I don't know. I don't understand why Cyrate can't talk.
Well, because they have to unseal his documents first, Randy. Once they do that, then he'll be able to do his interview with Lana that he plans on doing. So hopefully that's soon. We should be coming up on the deadline that was given for all those documents that they need to redact everything from to be released, so that we can actually go over those as well. So we'll see. And I'm not expecting a lot from that, because I'm imagining, especially with Bill Thompson looking over all that shit, I guarantee you we're not going to get hardly anything out of those two. So just saying.
Did you say he's going to do something with Lana?
Yeah, Sai's already planned and promised to do an interview with Lana.
Why doesn't he do an interview with a real channel? Sorry.
I have no issues with it. I'll be following it. We'll see. I know.
I'm just saying.
Everybody has their own thoughts on it. I get it.
I'd much rather see him over here talking to you.
I would love to talk to him. If I can get a hold of him, I definitely will. It's hard to reach out to these people. I'm not the type of a channel that will reach out to people as often as some of these other people do and bother them during certain situations. I don't feel like that's truly my place at times. And I'm not saying that it's wrong that other people do it. But, like I said, I respect Lana. She puts a lot of hard work in. And I'm looking forward to that interview. Not everybody likes her. I understand. And that's your opinion and your choice. But I do. I respect her. And I do. I'm I respect all the work Lana puts in. She does a lot, guys.
Right.
And she
Right.
she has certain angles and stuff that she can use that I don't have. Lana has connections within the legal system, so on and so forth, and knows certain things that I don't know. I'm getting there, but not yet. But
Because she's been in the legal system.
right, that she knows a lot about it, so on and so forth. So, and we'll see. I'm hoping that will happen sooner than later. That does get unsealed so that they can. But I have a feeling it's not going to, because that was one of the issues that Hitler had by calling him a conspiracy theorist. But I would hope that because of that he wants to come out and speak. But no, I can't wait for that to happen over there. Like I said, I love Lana. We talk a lot through here and so on and so forth, and she's a good time. Plus, we're neighbors. She lives pretty close to me. So, and she puts the work in. She puts the work and the time in. So, there's a lot of people that don't like her. I get it. That's fine. I respect your opinions, but
I never said I didn't like her. Never said I didn't like her. There's something she did or said that bothered me, that just made me decide not to follow her anymore. I don't know what it was.
It happened.
It was probably a year ago too.
Mm-hmm.
But she does her stuff. I will admit she does work and she does her stuff, but I just don't hang out with her like I hang out with you or Tommy or some of the other
Sure. No, I understand.
That's all.
No worries. No worries at all, Randy. No worries. Welcome, typically. Good to see you tonight again. Lucci. Let's see. I think I got everybody. If I didn't, I will catch up with you guys. One of the first things I want to review, because I thought this was interesting and it made me think about something else. For those of you that aren't familiar, Kathy's Indie Zone is another channel that I have been following with different things as well.
Who?
Kathy's Indie Zone. There's her link.
Oh yeah,
right there. She's got some interesting stuff that she puts out. Well, she brought out today, a little bit ago, actually, and there's a link for her. I want you guys to check it out. I'm gonna show it here. We're gonna review this first and talk about this because this is an interesting situation that happened. And I gotta wonder that the person that did this, what were you doing that for? Is there a reason why he was there? So we'll see. We'll see what she says, what Kathy has to say about it. And guys, go check out her channel if you will, if you have not yet done it. You won't be disappointed. There's quite a bit of interesting stuff that she puts out and has put out on this case. So thank you, Kathy, for what you do. Much appreciated. Yes, I agree with all of you 100%. All right, so we got 64 peeps in here, guys. Please make sure to hit the like button on the way in, and let's do this. I guess we'll start here with this. All right, here we go. Yes, Meg, 100%. Actually, that's fact. She's done that a lot with stuff that I learn things every time I watch that. So
EESST the 4th, Idaho State Police. This is a witness, Officer Best. And
now, if you haven't heard this, listen to what she's explaining happened here. This is insane. This should have never happened. And this should tell you how much of a joke the crime scene was at this scene.
There are two other witnesses that are listed here. Under the narrative section, it says here that on November 22nd, 2022, Idaho State Police Detectives Alderson, Tollison, Talbert, and I, Detective Sergeant Van Leuven, interviewed Latah County Sheriff's Deputy Timothy Best regarding information he had received relative to the homicides. Paragraph 2, Best advised he had received information from, and it's very heavily redacted, related that he had received a phone call from, and again redacted, and sounded drunk. Blank lived at blank in Moscow, Idaho. This address is approximately 350 feet from the house where the unalivings occurred. Paragraph 3. Blank advised his uncle used to work for the ATF and that he had his uncle's ATF hat and jacket. Blank said he put on this hat and jacket and walked into the crime scene when the students were being removed. Blank said he had walked into the crime scene and observed the evidence. Blank said he spoke to a Moscow police officer named Blank. Blank is not a Moscow PD officer. He was a recruit, but he didn't make it off FTO. Blank said Blank wanted to search his house, but said that he would not give him consent and said Blank would have to talk to his landlord. Paragraph 4. Blank said he described the crime scene as a deer inside of an apartment building. Blank further told Blank that he was outside of his house getting ready for a hunting trip when he heard a car starting up at approximately 3:45 a.m. on the morning of the unalivings and saw a car come from the area of the unalivings and drove past his house. He had no vehicle description other than it was a car. Paragraph 5. Blank told Blank that all of the victims were, quote, double tapped, end quote, in the house. He made no mention of anyone being attacked. Blank described a trail in the house that led toward the bathroom, but that he didn't make it. Paragraph 6 said he went hunting that day near Deary with a man named Redacted. Redacted said there were reporters near his house setting up for video, and that one of the reporters had backed into his vehicle. This interview was audio recorded. The recording was later placed on a disc, and the disc will be transferred to the Moscow Police Department. Paragraph 8, nothing further. And this is page 2 of 2. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could interject some comments here, some opinions. Number 1, this is quite a bizarre scenario for a law enforcement official like Officer Best to report that someone else who lived 350 feet, apparently from 1122 King Road, had made this representation that he actually walked over to the home as the students were being taken out, walked inside, donning a hat and jacket bearing ATF credentials. We're going to monitor this to see if there's any follow-up reports on this individual, and we will report back to you. If you have any comments, any thoughts, any opinions, please leave them here. And until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you very much for joining us here today.
I heard about that. Tommy.
How crazy, folks. How crazy.
Tommy. Oh my God.
It makes me wonder, why did you do that? Right. That's crazy. It's insane to me.
It kind of makes me want to question, did everybody in the household have direct credentials? Really? You got this one guy who just shows up out of the blue with ATF colors and he's hanging out with law enforcement.
Right. That's
I
crazy.
mean, that's just crazy.
100%.
It's kind of.
Well, here's my question. How stupid is law enforcement to know that there's one guy walking around with an ATF jacket on and nobody else? Nobody questioned that? Why was the guy not arrested if he was impersonating a police officer?
What time was that? Do we know?
I don't know exactly the time, but the date that it happened, she gave. This is what I mean, guys. This the entire investigation and everything about it is absolutely the most unprofessional situation I've ever seen in my life, and it continues to open up to being that and more. Okay, it's insane to me. Absolutely insane to me. Hold on a minute.
I mean, we don't even call law enforcement at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, but we calling everybody in Snapchat to come and have all the students walk the daggone house. And I don't know if I heard this correctly, but did the roommate start cleaning up the house that morning?
Now I think you're. I'm sorry. What'd you say again? There, hemisphere. Say it again.
Was it? I don't know if I where I heard it, but something about the housemates was cleaning up the house that morning.
That's what
The
was
little
stated
cleaning.
before. Yeah,
I don't know where I heard that. That's speculation on my part.
it was talked about. It's been talked about a couple of times.
So
Um,
yeah, I mean, you got students walking in and out of the house. You got, you know, these 4 kids just laid out on the floor. It's sad, man. I can't believe this. This is just wow.
it's beyond sad. And like to go with Lucy's statement here, it says I could be wrong, but it seems that the ATF kid was told that these victims were double tapped by actual Ellie at the scene. Sounds like it to me.
Double tapped.
And that's nuts, Lucy. It's nuts. Welcome, Jules. Thank you for the super chat. Did Jesse share my email with you? Good to see you tonight. I don't know if he did or if he didn't. I'll have to look, Jules. I will take that look real quick here. Yeah, double tap means shot.
Shot?
So yeah, shot like with a gun. So that's my
No.
understanding. That's what I thought too. But so
No.
did a Moscow law enforcement official tell this other person that that's what happened?
No. Willie's not here. No gun. I don't believe it. Don't believe it for a minute.
It makes me realistically give no credibility to the.
I think Kelly's face was
It's being released as being credible.
smashed.
I agree, Bobby.
I think Kelly's face was smashed with a golf club. I'm sorry.
It could be. That's fine. There was a flash and a bang, like what sounded like a firecracker that was heard by Bethany. So was it a gun? I don't know. What was it? We don't know yet. But
you know, we talked about Dago earlier with Tommy. I don't know if you were involved with that, but possibility that people knew where the golf clubs were. Somebody picked one up really quick, pulled it out of the bag, hit a light, which flashed and made a bang, and then went upstairs and used it on Kelly. That makes sense to me. It just makes sense.
It could. Very possibly could. Yes. These are all plausible theories, folks. 100%.
Oh, that's theory for sure.
Hang on a minute. Let me see. I don't see that in here. Hang on a minute. I don't see that Jesse sent me anything new. 1 minute. Well, maybe.
I look like it on black and white TV. My black and white. No color.
Welcome, Amy. Good to see you.
Hi, Amy.
Based on the 2 blank spots, blank told me, or blank told Lucy, I love you. Blank told blank that all the victims were double tapped. That means that someone told someone that information. It's not the ATF kid telling. Right. Yeah. Good point. Very good point. Sentence structure. Yes, ma'am. Cat lady, welcome back. Good to see ya. Yes, we're back at it. Buenas noches to you, Amy.
No Canadian cat woman. Yeah, Canadian cat lady. I love her.
Yes, she's awesome. She is. All right, guys, hold on here.
Dang, that was loud.
Okay. Well, just trying to catch up with chat.
I got a question. Do we know how long before he can appeal? How many days are left?
I think there's 6 days left from what everybody's been saying.
6 days.
I think. Don't quote me 100% because I'm not 100% sure, but I think.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
I lost
I heard
track.
it was the
30s.
4th of September.
September 4th, yeah.
He still got some time.
We'll see. And like I said, if nothing happens, then I have no idea where to go with it. So it could be something that happens down the road somewhere else. I don't know what to think, but all right, guys, hold on a minute. Now, with a lot of what we've been reviewing in these documents, okay, we talked about it. Welcome, P Fox. Good to see you. SRB and me and a couple of the other moderators were talking about this earlier with some of the stuff we've read. A lot of it is going full circle and coming back to Kaylee Gonsalves, and it's starting to point to Kaylee. Welcome, Contessa. Good to see you tonight, dear. It's starting to point, in a sense, we don't have to say it is factually, but it does look like, in some senses, that it goes all the way around, like I said, and it comes right back to Kaylee Gonsalves in some aspects, and it's weird. Almost as if Kaylee could be the target, folks. You know, they're not saying this, but
yeah, the target.
Right. In some senses, it looks like she could have been a target. Court TV did a little segment on it. I figured I would review with you guys because that was one of the topics I wanted to get on and talk about was the fact that was Kaylee a target? Was Kaylee the target?
Somebody was a target.
Oh, yeah. It
wasn't
wasn't
just believe that. Absolutely believe it.
Yes, sir. It wasn't just the house, as law enforcement tried to make us believe. There was a target within that house. Okay. Now, there's multiple things we've heard that made me start to think about Kaylee. She had a lot, like some of the worst injuries and wounds and damage done to her. Somebody purposely went and brought her back to Idaho or to Moscow. I'm sorry. For that weekend, for whatever reason, you know, for the formal or whatever the hell they called that thing. She was purposely brought back here. People can say that has nothing to do with this. I'm sorry. I can't look past that. Okay. We've seen a lot of lying done, a lot of things put out there and a lot of things buried that shouldn't have been. And a lot of questions about things related to Kaylee Gonsalves. So could she have been the target and everybody else around them was collateral, or maybe they were all in a sense that Kaylee was the lead target and they were all connected to her, therefore they got it too. I don't know, but it does make me wonder. So we're going to review this court TV segment about this because I've been thinking about this for a couple of days now, reading these reports. Like I said, guys, Kaylee this, Kaylee that, Kaylee this, Kaylee that. It's hard to not think it. That's all I'm saying. So let's check this out and see what everybody's thoughts are on this. Again, thank you all for joining us tonight. Please make sure to hit the like button, share this out. Let's see if we can get this in that algorithm with 100 likes, folks, if you can. And share, everybody. Let them know what we're doing. Rowena, good to see you tonight, my dear. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you all so very.
I'm Vinny Politan. The subject of my investigation is the tragic murders of 4 University of Idaho students. Their killer has admitted his crimes and was sentenced to life. And now, finally, the public evidence is being made public. Here's the story. A quiet university town was torn apart by a brutal crime that shocked the nation. 4 young students were found slain in their off-campus home, their lives cut short in a scene of unthinkable violence. For weeks, the community lived in fear as investigators pieced together fragments of surveillance video, DNA, and digital trails. Eventually, suspicion zeroed in on a grad student studying criminology, a man who appeared obsessed with the very subject of murder. Behind a facade of intelligence and normalcy lurked chilling darkness. Evidence placed him near the victim's home, and forensic science tied him to the crime. Prosecutors say he meticulously stalked his victims before carrying out the killings. His guilty plea and admission ended the terror, but opened a new chapter of questions about motive, psychology, and justice. Now, as the public evidence is finally released, some of those questions are being answered. A lot of the reports, and some of them are somewhat redacted, right? There are certain things that are blacked out that should be blacked out. Names of certain people that were spoken to. So some privacy is retained, but the records are public, and the public is entitled to see them. And we have gotten some of those reports now from this investigation, giving us a better understanding of this killer and what happened in this mass murder. Cody Thomas took a look at some of those reports and found some interesting, I guess, revelations about what was seen and heard the night of the murders.
Sometime in the early morning hours, surviving roommate Dylan Mortensen was awoken and opened her room door, redacted, and heard a male say, "It's okay, Kaylee, I'm here for you," and crying.
Now, once again, we have never heard that state where they say it's okay, Kaylee. We heard it's okay, I'm here to help you. They never threw her name in that, but there you go. You know what that means. More bullshit.
She then shut her door. A short while later, she opened her door again and saw someone approximately 5 foot 10 inches tall, dressed in all black with a ski mask, standing in the kitchen. She made eye contact with the person and could see they were Caucasian through the cutouts for the eyes. She shut her door again and texted surviving roommate Bethany Funk, whose bedroom is on the first floor. Bethany told her to join her in her room, and Dylan ran down the stairs to Bethany's room, where they fell asleep.
Couple of things there, right? Made eye contact. That's interesting, right? I knew that she had seen the bushy eyebrows, but I didn't know that she had actually made eye contact with the killer. Thank goodness that she did not become another victim.
Good point,
but there
Bobby.
was something else in that Cody found, where you have apparently a voice saying, "Kaylee, you know, it'll be okay." How did he know her name? How did he know her name? That brings us to the first question in our investigation.
Because if it's true, just like Kaylee's mother said in the very beginning, Christy believes that this is somebody that Kaylee knew, or that knew her. That's never left my mind. Okay? But I'm not saying it's true. Just saying if they knew who she was, like we've been saying in some senses. So it could be. Who knows? But what's up, Scott? I don't know. But that statement that they said her name was never stated before. So, and I agree with Jen. I think I agree with Jen that the person knew everybody in there. That's my opinion. Oh, I know, Bobby. I know exactly what you meant, bud.
How did he know Kaylee's name? Was Kaylee Gonzalez the target? Was she the target in all of this? Here to help answer that question, private investigator Jason Jensen is with us, along with retired police detective Dr. Mike McCutcheon. He's also a crime scene and forensics instructor at Forensic Education. Great to have you both here. Let me start with that question, Jason. After hearing about this, about what Dylan heard, Kaylee,
Exactly.
I'm here for you. Do you think that it's possible that Kaylee was the target?
Oh, given this new revelation, it's entirely possible. And the reason why I say that is we have long understood that there was a likely stalker scenario, and it's very common for a stranger stalker to be familiar with their victim, and they feel they know that person while the victim knows nothing of the stalker.
Well, hey, that's interesting because if it was a stalker situation, guess what? Brian Koberger didn't do any stalking, so there's that.
So it's very common.
Let's take a look at this as well. More that we uncovered from these newly unsealed documents. And here we have some reporting from The Independent. They spoke with Heather Barnhart, Senior Director of Forensic Research at Cellbrite, and she went through.
Oh, joy, the barnyards. Yeah, here we go with the barnyards again.
Through the killer's phone. The killer's digital footprint included a passive log of Wi-Fi networks that his phone sought out. Madison Mogan and Xana Kernodle worked at a local restaurant, the Mad Greek, as servers before they were murdered.
Welcome, Miss Sarah.
One Wi-Fi log caught Heather's attention when she was searching his digital footprint. The network name for the Mad Greek, though nothing concrete tied him to the location at the time of the murders, the Wi-Fi logs.
And I'm going to explain this before he even says it, because it's already been explained away, excuse me, by Detective Gilbertson, that the only reason why it showed up in his phone is because he was looking for restaurants near him. Period. Insane.
Suggested he had been there before, possibly more than once. There was, Heather confirmed, his device had passively logged that network. So on the one hand, Dr. Mike McCutcheon, we've got apparently him knowing Kaylee's name. On the other hand, he is going to the Mad Greek where Xana and Maddie worked. What are your thoughts?
This is one of those situations, we don't know exactly what he's thinking, and sometimes it's unfortunately circumstance, the wrong place at the wrong time. And it could be where he saw them working and then followed them. We saw from the surveillance video footage that was released that he circled their residence a few times, whether he was specifically looking for those two kids or not. But it could be where he saw them at a restaurant and he decided they were going to be his victims. He was going to stalk them. It's very possible. With the digital footprint connecting him to that Wi-Fi, I think that's pretty significant. And that, as far as I can see so far from what has been released, to me, that's the only connection to these, to the victims, him and the victims, is the Wi-Fi connection at two of the victims' work.
There is no connection then, because that was found to be unfounded. So there you go. There's your answer for that one.
So besides that's the only piece I see that I would indicate that he had some, I don't want to say a relationship, but some aware of where they were and who they were.
Okay. Now, take a look at this, guys, because this is something else uncovered
It's all
from
bullshit.
sealed document.
It is, because a passive connection is nothing to do with connecting, okay? He went into his phone, once again, and looked up restaurants near me. The Mad Greek came up in the system, in his phone. That was it. That's all that happened. Nothing more, nothing less. So
Doesn't
therefore,
mean-
in turn, he never connected.
Doesn't
He
mean
didn't
he
even,
went there.
he didn't
go
even
there.
walk past and connect to the Wi-Fi. It was just looking up restaurants near him is all it was. Sorry, Randy. What'd you say?
No, I was agreeing. I was just agreeing. It's like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
there's no proof. There's no proof he was there,
Well, the owner said he never was.
right?
It's ridiculous. So they're going to continue to do this, like I said. And if that's what you're going to do, like I've been saying for 3 days now, shut up, because you're telling lies. Sit down, shut the fuck up, and move on. Until you tell some truth, I don't want to hear it. So whoever this and this, you're wrong. Sorry. And Vinny he's asking his questions, and I'm not going to go off on him yet, but if he goes along with this and that, then you're just as dumb. Sorry. Because these reporters have become idiots and they're just working on a paycheck, folks. They are not telling any truth. They're telling nothing but lies. So shut up and sit down.
Keep the story going, make some money.
100%.
Kaylee was stalked. In the documents, investigators interview a friend of the female victims, a woman who used to live in the same King Road house. She was told by, again, a redacted name, of a time at Winco when someone followed Gonzalez, which is Kaylee, out of the building to her car. There was also another time when all the roommates of 1122 King Road went out for a bit, and when they came back, the back door was open after being previously locked. She heard Gonzalez, which is Kaylee, was walking her dog once and had seen someone hiding behind a garbage dumpster. Kaylee felt someone had been watching her. This was about a month prior. Another friend told investigators, before the murders, Kaylee had claimed to have seen a shadow or a shadowy figure watching her from the vegetated area behind the residence.
Sorry.
Where's this coming from? All of a sudden, all these people,
this is all coming out of the reports that we're
never
getting.
said anything, before, but now all of a sudden, making it look like
all these reports are coming out now where these things, that story's been told, I don't know how many times now we've heard it in the reports we're reading. It's in just about every other report with any interviews they've done with friends or witnesses. But yeah, that's the only stalker situation there would be is this person. It ain't got nothing to do with Brian Koberger. None of these. They're not Brian Koberger. So it doesn't matter. Okay. If you can't, this is Moscow PD not doing their job. That's what that is. Deal with it. Okay. And if she didn't go to them with this, which I'm hearing that she didn't really, that she joked it off like it was no big deal. But this is not, it's not Brian. So there you go.
Which freaked her out. Kaylee had also told the roommates about a stalker at blank redacted in Moscow, Idaho. Jason Jensen, how about this information about Kaylee Gonzalez? She felt like someone had been following her, felt like there was a shadowy figure, was freaking out, Jason.
Yes, all this seems to be adding up to the scenario that she felt like she was being stalked. And, that's key there, because as a stalker feels more and more bold, they get closer and closer to their victim until some horrific act where there's a break-in or worse. So this is common buildup of a stalker behavior where it starts out from a distance and they move closer and closer. And the victim usually has that sense that someone's following them.
Dr. Mike McCutcheon, the whole group, all the roommates left and came back, and the back door was open after having been locked. A lot of folks are wondering if this killer had, staked out the interior of this. Seemingly, it's an unusual interior, but had staked out the interior of this home.
I will say, without knowing for sure, I can make a couple of assumptions. But with Brian's history of his criminology, for him to not have stalked or not have done an assessment of his victims or done an assessment of his home, I think would be unusual. I think that for someone who was studying criminology at the level that he was studying in criminal justice, I think for him to blindly just stumble into this house and kill 4 people is unlikely. Now, again, I don't know for sure, but that seems unlikely. And if he had planned, whether he saw them at the restaurant or however he locked onto them, if he were this person that they thought was stalking him, I wouldn't find it unusual. That is, this is going to sound strange, but that's normal behavior for a murderer who is stalking their victims, and because they want to make sure their goal is to not be caught. And they want to be successful, and so they are going to take steps to make sure that they're successful, and that is planning out, making sure that they have a way to escape, where they're going to park their car, what's the entry, are doors locked or unlocked, are they going to break a window, are they going to break a door? They preparing for that, just as they would prepare for anything else that they wanted to be successful at. And that requires a game plan. So whether it was or wasn't him, for us to think that he just randomly strolled into this house, I don't think is the case. I think he definitely had some forethought for sure before going to that house that night.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also trust Kaylee's instincts that someone was following her and there was
Absolutely.
someone looking at
Yep.
her. All right, our guests are staying with us. Coming up next, what new evidence photos have been released?
Nobody understands exactly why.
They've been beating that narrative up with this stalker for a very long time. You had Bill Thompson in court saying they did not have a stalker.
Everybody said it now.
But we get a report from ex-roommates from a year prior saying that they felt like they've been watched.
Mm-hmm.
The house has been watched. It's a party house.
Right.
Yes, it's going to be watched. You got.
Not to mention, they got a lot of good-looking women. Yeah.
It's just trying to beat that narrative in. They don't have anything to connect Brian Koberger to the victim, so they're just victim shaming him and saying,
Right.
"See,
Right.
he's just a weirdo."
100%. And it's already proven that Brian didn't do it. So they can say this till they're blue in the face. I don't care what they say. Maybe she did have somebody watching her from the trees or that was following her around when she was walking her dog, but it ain't got nothing to do with Brian Koberger. So figure who that person is, and maybe you'll have your killer. It ain't Brian. So
the one thing I will say this much about they keep throwing Ted Bundy out there. Before he went to that sorority house in Florida, he contacted a cousin of his and pretty much made his cousin pick, okay, so this is going to be my last hurrah, in other words, not saying word for word, but that's how he went to Florida. Well, when he got to Florida in that sorority house, he did not stop this place weeks on end. He just broke in the house and beat the crap out of these students. Some of them did die, but some of them lived to tell the tale. And one of the girls that he was going for the death kill, and the only reason why he stopped is because he had lights come into the room where she can actually see him. And he dropped whatever he had and he ran out.
right.
And on his way out, another girl was coming in and saw him casually walking out.
Right.
And he was on his last killing spree anyway. So throughout the whole night, that was his whole thing, Night of Terror.
Right.
But we're talking about a psychopath.
Bobby.
Yeah. There's no.
They have to find a way to make him look dirty and guilty, Hemisphere. So they keep, because they know that he researched Ted Bundy. That's the only way they can connect him that way to somebody that has actually done something like this. That's why they keep doing that.
And the only reason why they keep bringing that up is because he had a part of his curriculum is with a teacher who specializes in serial killing.
Right.
So if you're in criminology, you're inspiring to be some form of law enforcement. That's what you're inspiring to be.
Right.
You're going to have to know psychology. You're going to know all that stuff that they didn't know way back when in '74 when Bundy was doing all that killing.
Yeah.
And so it's a way of them to control the narrative.
That's all it
is.
is.
They had to keep throwing this stalking thing, and I keep pulling my hair out because you had your lead prosecutor sitting over there under oath saying that stalking was not the motive, but yet y'all keep throwing it in there because he just stepped up and said that he was guilty.
Because there's no motive. So the only thing that they can come up with is stalking. That's the only thing that makes any kind of a motive make sense to this hemisphere. So there's the problem. There is no motive for Brian Koberger to have done this. So for Brian to do this in their minds, there has to be a motive.
Yeah, but it's not true.
He didn't stalk him. He did not stalk him.
It's not true.
The lead investigators have told us, the lead prosecutor has told us, everybody has told us, the documents have told us, Brian Koberger did not stalk these victims. Stop saying it, shut up, and sit down. It's a lie. Stop lying.
Well,
So, yes.
throw it all out the window now that he just stood up and said that he did this.
Of course. That's the only thing that they can go back to.
It's it's not innocent until proven guilty. It's guilty until you're proven innocent.
Agreed.
That's just the way it is. It's just not right. It's wrong on so many levels.
100%, sir.
It's just, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna harp on that. But
and Bill even said now at the point that like premeditation doesn't even truly have to be a thing now. He actually even made a statement in his last interview that said, well, he may have just, decided to go in there right before he did it. Well, Bill, that's not premeditation. So what are we you can't have both ways. Okay.
Did they have Koberger sitting in the room with a bunch of detectives around him, grilling him, playing good cop, bad cop in an interview to get him to confess? We have not heard that. We've heard, we're starting to hear some form of communication they had with Koberger in the beginning of his arrest, but we never had that smoking gun interview of him sitting there and then breaking them down and trying to get a confession out of Koberger. We didn't get that. We didn't get none of that. Not that I've seen. I ain't seen it. I mean, there's just right and wrong way of doing things and how to catch a person. And you're going to know at the end of the day, when it's done correctly, that you got the right guy. And it's just mind-boggling how they got away with this. Wow.
It really is. Very good point.
Wow. I had never, even in the Daybell trial, I'll get this out there. In the Daybell trial,
Kelly.
Chad Daybell, that was the very first thing I heard as soon as he walked in the prison walls was Chad Daybell is going to be his bunk buddy, whatever. Well, if you follow that case, the kids was literally on his property, buried. And he's in the house. And he's calling up Lori and pretty much telling Lori, oh, they just found where the kids were at. Gotcha.
They have absolute proof on him, yes.
There's none of that for Koberger.
No, there's no proof at all. They said it themselves they have nothing on him. It doesn't make any sense, bro. It doesn't make any sense at all.
But they're going to keep driving that narrative. And the thing about it is places like this right here and a few other content creators. That's the reason why we need to keep calling them out on this.
Absolutely. That's why I've been saying now. Just shut up. If you're going to make the lies and say the bullshit, shut up.
This is wrong on so many levels, man. This is everybody's right, man. Your God-given right to be a human being is pretty much getting taken away from you. It's mind-boggling.
Agreed. Good point, WB. On we go.
Yes, sir.
He was stalking them. He was hunting them.
Matriarch of the Adelson family gets arrested.
Terrible. Donna Adelson is facing charges.
Passed out, and she was drunk last night and she's not waking up. Okay. Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night.
Feel so bad for those kids. They're kids. They're in college. They're kids. Having to experience that crime scene. So what we found in the reports and what Cody uncovered is a description of the crime scene and sort of the layout of this house inside. Take a listen.
As you enter the residence from the front door, there is a bathroom in front of you, south. There is a bedroom to the right, west. It appeared to be unlived in. To the left, east, was a staircase to the second floor and a small hallway. As you walk east down the hallway, a small mechanical room was to the right, south. The hallway ended in a bedroom, redacted. We know this was surviving roommate Bethany Funk's room. As you go up the stairs to the second floor, you enter a small living room area. There was a folding table set up on the west side of the area, partially blocking the entry to the west hallway. There were multiple areas of red liquid on the table that appeared to be blood. As I walked west from the living room, there was a half wall to my right. I could see multiple drops and runs of red liquid along the entire half wall. Across the half wall, north, I saw more red stains on the wall above the first and second floor staircase. The stains and liquid were consistent.
What's that?
Who is this? A cop talking, or?
That's one of the reporters from Court TV. He's just reading the report.
Oh, okay.
With cast off and appeared to be blood. Continuing west down the hallway, there was a bathroom to the left, south, with the hallway ending at a bedroom. On the north wall of the hallway, near the bedroom door, there appeared to be a red-colored transfer mark at approximately my shoulder height. From the living room, looking into the west bedroom, I could see a female, Xander Kernodle, lying near the center of the room. A male, Ethan Chapin, was laying in the bed. Exiting the bedroom and walking east, there wasn't anything visible of interest in the bathroom. Outside the bathroom door, there appeared to be small drops of red liquid near the baseboard, a small smear of a red-colored liquid on the south wall, and a hair stuck to the wall. South out of the living room was a small step down and a bedroom immediately to the left. East, surviving roommate Dylan Morton's room. South was a staircase to the third floor and a small storage area under the stairs. To the right, west, was the kitchen. The kitchen counters were cluttered. There were also red-colored drips on the north side cabinets near the sink and a red-colored liquid drop on the floor. The red-colored marks appeared to possibly be blood. As I walked south up the stairs, they switched back to the north. On the center wall banister were red-colored liquid smears. They appeared to be blood smears. At the top of the stairs was a small hallway. Directly to the left, west, was a bedroom, Kaylee Gonzalez. On the right side, east of the hallway, it ended with a bathroom. To the south of the bathroom was a small bedroom, Madison Mogan's. On the bed were Kaylee and Maddie.
And along with that description of the interior, there are also some photos that have been released, and that brings us to the next question in our investigation. What new evidence photos have been released? Here to take a look at them with us, private investigator Jason Jensen and retired police detective Dr. Mike McCutcheon. So we're going to walk through some of these photos that we have now, and be interested in what your thoughts are about the significance, what you would look for, and what it tells us. Let's begin first with this image of the stairs. Jason Jensen, I'll begin with you.
Well, it's interesting that what we're looking at here is I can see that there looks like there's cast off along the staircase, some drips like they were describing that Cody was explaining, as well as some empty cans. So, evidence that there might have been a party or something that preceded the night before.
Dr. Mike McCutcheon, taking a look at this one. What are your thoughts about the significance here?
Oh, well, it's when you see blood in that fashion, that's blood in motion. That's not a drip mark. So it could be cast off from if somebody's walking and they're moving their hands. It could be coming off of a weapon, but that is blood in motion, though. So when those stains are made, the origin of the blood is somebody who's moving, not being static. And you can see, and this isn't uncommon in crime scenes where there's lots of blood, is, to be frank, they're very messy scenes. There's a lot of blood evidence, and a perpetrator is normally getting blood on their clothing. We see that with the different smears, and them moving their hands around, that having it on their clothing, it's going to create these stains very small stains in some situations, but it's that blood that's moving in motion. This person is moving quickly, which is making the stains. They're not drip stains. They're more blood in motion.
All right, Dr. Mike McCutcheon, I want to take a look at this next one because I'm trying to figure this out.
Sure.
This blue liquid, is there any significance there? Does that tell you anything, this blue liquid on the wall?
Yes, my guess is that is what they would call an amido black. It's a dye stain looking for bloody fingerprints. They use that to enhance blood. It interacts with the blood, and they spray that on where suspected blood may be, either to find blood or what I use it for specifically is to develop fingerprints, to develop bloody fingerprints. It's very fine, and it is a dark, we call it amido black. So my guess is that that's what that stain is. I would be really surprised if that were something that occurred during the crime scene. Just from what it looks like, that is very typical of spraying that type of chemical to develop bloody fingerprints or to locate blood evidence.
All right, let's take a look at the next photo here, Jason Jensen. And this is sort of a wide shot of a desk inside the home. You're at the scene, you're looking at these photos. What are the things that you would be looking for? And is there anything obvious to you from this photo?
Well, one of the things I would be looking for when we're talking a death scene where it's somebody's room, you're looking for things of value that may be missing, that would be common there, you know, some purses, some wallets, cash, jewelry, things of that nature you want to see.
We looked at these the other day, me and the moderators, and we were trying to figure out who this belongs to, and really kind of struggled with that. So I can't give a clear answer on that, folks. Sorry.
If there was evidence that there was a theft, you know, a burglary in progress that might have been interrupted, but absent that, given the fact there is a purse present there, it seems like the motive of the
typically
the murders were other than like a burglary or a theft.
Dr. Mike McCutcheon, looking at this and photos around the house, these are young college kids. There's a bunch of them, a lot of people in and out of the house. How much does that complicate processing the scene?
It complicates it quite a bit because if you were in your house, your prints should be there, your things should be there, and we need to be focused on our victims. And I know what I like to eat and what I like to drink. I know what my family likes to eat and drink. And so if I saw something in this particular photo, one of the beverages where I would say, you know, my roommate would never drink. I have never seen my roommate drink that. Well, as an investigator, I'd say, oh, that could be the suspects because it's not the victims. But when you have, as we just saw on the stairs and on here with lots of different bottles and things like that, it's hard to know what's there fresh, what's there old. Were those from yesterday? Were they from a week ago? It's very difficult. And this isn't typical. This isn't victim shaming or anything.
Yeah, I think that's the closest we can come to a conclusion was that this might be Bethany's room. There's no fact on it, but I do believe it is.
Thing like that. This is a typical college house, and it makes it very difficult. One quick note is what I would look for is if there was any voids in a bloodstain pattern to see if the suspect had taken a trinket or taking something after the event, because that blood spatter would be on that particular object, and then they take it. So now there's a void. I can't see quite from the picture without zooming in, but to see if there's a void in the blood spatter to see if the suspect took something with them after he murdered these 4 kids.
And we have one more photo that was unsealed here. We take a look at this. Jason Jensen, we have about 10 seconds left. Thoughts here?
But typically when we're looking at this particular box, those kinds of beverages, just like the doctor was explaining, you can see what might be something that would be related to the victims in this room, and that would be one of the things you would clarify, given the fact that there's a storage box for White Claw. Any White Claws you would probably eliminate in the room as being the suspect's contribution.
Jason Jensen, Dr. Mike McCutcheon, great to have your expertise and having you both here. Thank you so much. Up next, did the killer's behavior at Washington State University raise any red flags? Small college town. In the dead of night, 4 bright University of Idaho students were brutally murdered inside their off-campus home, a place once filled with laughter and promise. The crime scene was described as chilling, a house of horror that left even seasoned investigators shaken. For weeks, the community lived in fear, wondering if the killer would strike again. Clues emerged slowly. DNA on a knife sheath, cell phone pings, and the eerie image of a white car captured on surveillance near the home. Piece by piece, detectives built their case, revealing what they say was a carefully planned and merciless attack. The victims, young lives brimming with potential, were stolen in an instant, and the town of Moscow has never been the same.
So there you go. A carefully planned and brutal attack. Carefully planned relates to premeditation. Well, Bill Thompson is now saying that he could have just picked this at random right before he did it. Make up your mind.
It's crazy to me how they cherry pick everything they talk about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like they don't even. We didn't know any better. You think that these people don't even look at the docs.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is they just pick and choose what they feel like saying, and we're just supposed to accept it. Well, guess what? No, sorry, shut up. You're lying again.
Because that we all know now that white car that they keep on showing is actually Moscow PD undercover cop.
Yeah, right.
Same. Now, after the conviction of the killer, we are learning more about what happened as the public records and public evidence is finally being released. And we're taking a look at some of that newly released and unsealed evidence in the case. Now, this killer was studying criminology. This killer worked at Washington State University in Pullman, Washington, just over the state border. It wasn't far from Moscow, almost like neighboring college towns out west. And he was working there. So he was, he was a grad student, but he was teaching classes. So he was interacting, and other professors got to know him a little bit from his time there. And it seems he made quite an impression early on. Take a listen to this part that Cody found in the reports, talking about observations from one of the professors at Washington State University.
One day, a female grad student came running into her office, went and checked on her, and the student said that she had just left class because of an interaction with Koberger. Koberger had said something very sexist, and the student called him out for mansplaining. Koberger stood his ground and kept speaking in a way that made the student feel she needed to stand up and leave the room. She was asked by staff to check in on name redacted because Koberger was harassing her. Koberger would go into an office where several female grad students worked and physically block the door. Once in a while, she would hear one of the female grad students say, "I really need to get out of here." And she would intercede by going into the office and allowing the female student to leave. Koberger had strong feelings that regular burglars had nothing to do with sexually motivated burglars. She and her colleagues had a faculty meeting right before the Christmas break in which they discussed each one of their students. Koberger took up most of the time in this meeting because he was highly problematic. She told her colleagues, "He is smart enough that in 4 years we will have to give him a PhD. And mark my word, I work with predators. If we give him a PhD, that's the guy that in many years, when he is a professor, we will hear is harassing, stalking, and sexually abusing his students."
member. Really?
At WEVE University. Because there was a performance issue in terms of his TA, teaching assistant duties, she and a couple of her other faculty members made the recommendation to cut his funding and get him out of the program. She felt like he was stalking people.
Wow. Okay, let's get to the next question in our investigation. It's about his time at Washington State University. Did his behavior at WSU raise any red flags? It did, it seemed, with that professor. Here to help answer that question, private investigator Lauren Vellucci and clinical and forensic psychologist Dr. John Paul Garrison, also a body language expert. You know him. Dr. G is here. Thank you both for being here. To me, that is just jaw-dropping, Lauren, the observations from this professor that, like, basically predicting the future for this guy.
Yeah, and it was terrible because she was noticing all this, and so were his classmates and his other teammates that he was working with in this teacher's assistant program. And they would do what they could, but they said that basically he was misogynistic, homophobic. He would literally insult everyone, and he had to dominate every single conversation. I just think that after all of these little nuggets that are coming out, it makes Olivia Goncalves's victim impact statement so much more powerful, because she was speaking to all of his grandiosity that we're seeing here that everyone picked up on. But the problem is that it wasn't serious enough to get the law involved. And so that's why I'm a big proponent on your gut. We have a gut feeling. Sometimes we can't pinpoint it, what's wrong, what's off about someone, but we should always listen to that gut feeling, because this professor and a lot of these students knew that something was very wrong.
Absolutely. More than a dozen complaints. Take a look at this. A professor at Washington State University, he was aggressive towards women, made them feel uncomfortable. The faculty discussed how they could intervene. Dr. G, your thoughts about these observations of the killer?
Well, it's tragic that they couldn't intervene, or they felt that they couldn't intervene. I know in psychology programs, we gatekeep pretty well. If somebody's strange or is doing something like this, they're not going to graduate. They'll be kicked out of the program. But you have to have leverage like that over somebody. Otherwise, they'll keep these behaviors up. Clearly, he was escalating, and ideally being able to take him out of a program or put some sort of limits there would have maybe helped prevent some of that escalation.
There you go. If you said that you had a kid that had autism, right? So if you sitting there and you got you have a painting here, and you've been painting this thing for a very long time, and you just every day you look at it and you go, dang, it's not, it really don't look too good. So you keep on working at it, keep on working at it, keep on working at it, until it's perfect in your mind, and you know, if you're happy with the painting, then everybody else is going to be happy with it because the effort that you put into it. That's how Kohlberger feels when he listens to people talk and they don't use the right verbiage. You see what I'm saying? And him being an assistant teacher, he wants everybody to be perfect. And that really bothers him when people don't do that. And even in the hearing, I've seen that myself. And a lot of body language people has pointed that out about him. That's just part of the spectral realm of his autism. They really grasping for straws to make that guy look so guilty. And they can't prove he did this. It's mind-boggling. Wow. Wow. these people. I hope everybody understands what I'm saying when I said that, because that's somebody who really cares is trying to show how they really truly feel, but it comes out weird and awkward just because he's on a different level than what you so-called normal people may think of him. Is that the reason why he likes to go and spend overnight, not even sleep at all? Because he just don't have that relationship with other people. I mean, they're painting a monster. I don't even see what they're seeing. I'm seeing a normal guy. It's wild to me how our world is today. This is our world, man. There you go. Your thoughts?
Oh, sorry. I was talking. My mic was off again. No, if this was in a different scenario, they would have looked at him in a different way. So no, I absolutely understand what you're saying. Sorry, the stupid microphone shut off again. Um, but if Brian was even half as bad as these people say, he never would have ever been recommended for. Thank you. That's my whole. That's the whole point right there. Lucy is right. They would have never accepted or recommended him to it. Think about that for a minute, guys. It's ridiculous. Like I said, and I've been saying, and I'm going to keep saying, shut up. Okay. More bullshit. That's all this is.
Driving the narrative.
More from these.
They just keep driving the narrative.
Right.
Go ahead.
Even though it's over, according to them, it's over, and they're still doing it. It's amazing to me. Yeah, or allowed him to stay. That's a good point, Beth. So Ryan O'Hara is the start to answer Paul's question. What's the worst or most important thing he did in investigation? Anyone have an opinion? I've been looking at that, Beth, ever since that. I'm not sure yet. And it is very much so part of OCD, part of his autism, that he's a perfectionist. He wants people to do things the way he does them. That doesn't mean he's a bad person, folks. It just means that he wants people to do things the way he does them, the way he sees that you should do them. As being a teacher, that's part of that. So that's exactly, I agree with you on that.
Another student at Washington State University, name redacted, further described that the killer would stare at people in an intimidating way. Again, name redacted, told the killer that the way he was speaking was condescending, that he speaks that way to women, made her feel uncomfortable. Several of the students supported this person in her rebuke of the killer. The killer responded by saying, "I care how you feel, but you were wrong." The killer would also come into her office and stand in the doorway, would not take any cues that she didn't want to talk to him. Dr. G, what are your thoughts about that? I care how you feel, but you are wrong.
It's amazingly manipulative, which is exactly what you would expect with somebody like him.
Manipulative. I care what you say, but you're wrong. That's not manipulative. That's being factual and fact-based. What he's saying is, I care what you feel, what your feelings are, what your feelings are. But the truth is you were wrong about this situation. So I'm telling you that. That's not manipulative, you idiot.
It's kind of like, in what context of the conversation he was having with this girl. I mean, I think we all come across people that makes us mad or angry for one reason or the other, and we take it, blow it up a lot more than what it actually is. So, in what context was this setting at a school where he had times with these kids and could be able to critique them? Or was it in a private setting, like a restaurant or on a date or something like that, where it's a little bit more intimate and private setting? So it's all in the context of what is being said and how it's perceived.
Right. And again, like everybody conveniently keeps forgetting, Brian's autistic. Okay. One more time. Shut up. So sick of it. And SRB, you shut up too, but not in the way I'm telling him to shut up. I see what you're saying over there.
Low in empathy, high in manipulation. He knows just enough about what to say. He has just enough empathy to manipulate people, but no more than that. And that's what we see with people that are psychopaths.
Another student at Washington State University. Before talking with, again, name redacted, she emailed the killer concerning her grade. She stated his comment was, quote, "Stinks for you. You didn't know what you were doing." She felt at times that the killer would intentionally leave the class at the same time and follow her out to her car. I trust that she was probably correct in that observation, Lauren.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that was something that was echoed by everyone, really. He would talk down to women. He would call them broken. I don't know if it's the same student that completely changed her routine and asked professors and other students to drive her so that she didn't have to walk alone or take the bus alone at night because of him and him following her out to the car and other behaviors like physically blocking her from leaving the class when it was over and her wanting to go. And multiple people have stated this. I mean, it's really, really creepy stuff.
Dr. G, is there any way to tell the difference between, and where that...
Once again, shut up, go eat a cupcake, something. Just close your mouth.
line is between someone who is just a jerk versus someone who is potentially dangerous, that could attack you, sexually assault you, or like in this case, end up being a mass murderer who wanted to be a serial killer?
Unfortunately, it's all too often that we don't get to measure these things and talk to these people until after the fact, until after they've started doing something. But the truth is that for people that are socially awkward, they typically want to get along with people. They just don't have the skills. For people that are psychopaths, they can look similar, but they want control. So you start to get a sense this person wants control. They're being manipulative. They're trying to be hurtful. They're engaging in stalking behaviors. They're not being awkward and walking out and wanting to talk to somebody. They're stalking. They're trying to make somebody feel intimidated. So how you feel around somebody, really trusting your gut to go, this person is not just awkward. They're wanting to harm me. They enjoy the idea that I'm suffering right now.
And Dr. G, how does the autism play into this? Because our understanding is that the killer was somewhere on the spectrum.
So I hear. I don't know how officially true that is.
Shut the fuck up. You're a liar. It's in documentation. He was diagnosed when he was younger. Stop. My God. Anything you can do to get around the truth to put your stupid narrative out there. That's your answer. God, I'm sick of
this. Let's not forget what Thompson said either. There's nothing that Brian Covert can say that's going to change anything. Poor kid. I hope to God that somebody will step up and make this right, because this is wrong on so many levels.
Now they're even taking that away from him, that he was diagnosed autistic. That's sickening to me.
I understand. I got a grandbaby that has autism. So
I am so tired of hearing this kind of stuff, you guys. It's so insulting and ignorant.
What's even more sickening, Dago, is we all know it's bullshit.
Right. And these people are just repeatedly doing it. Sorry for my language, guys. I'm just so irritated with this at this point that I cannot, especially this guy here, like Dr. G. Really? Wow. How much are they paying you, Dr. G? Come on.
You're basing this on your own opinion, and you haven't even been in the room with the man for 5-10 minutes. to talk to the man.
Oh, I knew
You're
he was
just
going to say
basically
something.
out there giving your biased opinion because you're a professional. I was just thinking about it. You ever seen the behavior panel?
Oh, I watch it
One
all
of
the
them,
time.
one of them did a thing on Brian Koberger, and he had to put it on 100 times speed. He said that there's nothing that Brian Koberger has shown that's enough of evaluation. And know that he's the same guys that will sit there and tell you about a psychopath. It takes months to a year to diagnose anybody being a psychopath, not just after a 15, 20-minute visit.
That is true.
So,
like I
there you
said,
go.
I knew he was going to make a statement like that. I knew that was coming. Here we go.
Because psychopathy and autism superficially can look kind of similar because they can both have minimal emotional expression. They can be kind of blank. There's a lot of overlap between the two. If he in fact did have autism on top of many of the other issues that he has, then it is going to increase his ability to manipulate well. He's going to be awkward. People are going to see his manipulations and just feel creeped out by him. So there could be a little bit of overlap, but I'm not even convinced that he's very on the autism spectrum.
All right, guests are staying with us. Still to come. Did the killer's behavior off campus raise any red flags?
As to count 2, murder in the first degree as it relates to the murder of Madison Mogan. How do you plead guilty or not guilty? Guilty. As to count 3, as it relates to murder in the first degree for the murder of Kaylee Gonzalez, how do you plead guilty or not guilty? Guilty.
Matriarch of the Adelson family gets arrested.
Terrible. Donna Adelson is facing charges.
The quiet morning hours of November 13, 2022, a faceless coward breached the tranquility of 6 beautiful young people and senselessly slaughtered them. 4th, this unfathomable and senseless act of evil has caused immeasurable pain and loss.
Powerful and very true statement by Judge Hippler at the sentencing of the killer. So when the killer moved, he went from Pennsylvania out to Washington State, across the country, went out to, what was it, Ted Bundy country, right? And when he first got out there, I think this was right around the beginning when he got out there, stayed in a hotel. And just for a couple of days, yet made quite an impression on folks at that hotel. Cody Thomas going through the reports, found it. Take a listen.
Koberger checked in on June 30th, 2022 at approximately 4:52 p.m. Koberger later came down to the front desk and asked her to make a set of key cards for his room and leave them for someone named Name Redacted. The following morning, she went upstairs to see if Koberger was going to check out at the appointed noon checkout time. As she approached his room to contact him, he was standing in the doorway leaving. As they walked down to the front desk, they talked about sheaths and collecting knives. Once at the front desk, they talked about self-defense weapons and their knife collections. The key cards for Name Redacted were still at the front desk when he was checking out. Another female worker at the hotel told investigators, Name Redacted told her manager that she had double-charged Koberger, and he became really upset. And then he became nice and kept coming downstairs, flirting with her.
Interesting.
It's interesting that none of this stuff was stated, talked about, brought up, any of that until after. The video is almost over, folks, I promise. We need to see stuff like this too, okay? So that we can understand what is still going on out here. This propaganda bullshit is still happening, which is why we need to continue fighting what we're fighting, in my opinion. Just saying.
Right? So in these reports, we found out a lot about people coming forward and providing information about the killer. And that brings us to the next question in our investigation, which is, Did his behavior off campus raise any red flags? The things he was doing when he left Washington State University. Still with us, our guest, private investigator Lauren Vellucci, and clinical and forensic psychologist, Dr. John Paul Garrison, Dr. G. I want to put this up here. This is from the University of Washington student. The killer had asked, name redacted, if she was single. She discussed her relationship with her partner. He asked about other friends of hers and if she was interested in getting together outside of school. She said she was not interested. She said she had told him she had been blanked, right? And he stated he did not date broken women. The redaction, I believe, probably refers to some form of being a victim. Dr. G, what are your thoughts about him seeing a woman who's been a victim as a broken woman and having some sort of rule that he has that he doesn't date who he considers a broken woman?
It shows that he's sadistic. It goes to the idea that he has not just low empathy, but no empathy. This is someone who truly does not understand human relationships in any real measurable way. So, of course, if somebody has been hurt, he's going to see them. He's going to use that against him. He's going to use that as a bludgeon to make them feel awful. So regardless of whether or not he actually sees them as
like we all don't have our own likes in the person that we want to date.
These people are sick, okay?
Really?
That was disgusting. I'm sorry. But there's so much more to these conversations that's being left out of this. Shut up. Once again, just shut up. This is so bad.
Everybody has their own taste, man. Everybody has their own thing they like in a person that they want to date. It's
right, and then Eddie's right.
Just she might not have been his cup of tea. Yeah, it happens, man.
There's always another side to every story, folks. Remember that too. Okay. There you go, right there. That's the point right there. I'm more concerned about the chick just randomly telling somebody brand new to the area that she was assaulted. That doesn't happen on a regular basis, okay? There you go. So think about the conversation and how that went down. I don't believe it. And like I said, once again, these people bringing these things up, Dr. G and all this stuff, shut up. Just shut up. I'm sick of hearing it already.
And you got people out there that really just wants to blame stuff on other people too. And it's not even true.
Yep.
You know, I met Joe Blow down the street, but 5 minutes later, he's forcing me to do something I don't want to do. I mean, come on. And that's not even what happened. So, whatever.
Yep. Good point, Lucy, too.
Whatever. It's a shame because it kind of makes people like Kohlberger. I'm sure that's the reason why he likes to go out late at night and just be by himself and not be around people.
I don't blame him. People suck. And look at all this. Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous. Like I said, guys, if he would not have been accused of this crime, every one of these statements would have been completely different, I can guarantee you. Or never mentioned at all, right there.
So if he's a psychopath for all these traits that he's got, according to what these people are, what constitute as a rational, normal person who lives out of day to day?
Good point, sir. Good point.
I don't know. I just be you, man. That's the only thing I can tell you. Just be you.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it too.
He's broken. He may just say that to enjoy watching someone hurt because that's the kind of person he is.
Yeah, Lauren Vellucci, it's amazing that this guy has such a high opinion of himself and is so picky about who is good enough to be with him.
Yeah, it's disgusting. In fact, he was so full of himself that he had the confidence to go up to 2 women in bathing suits at this pool party that he was invited to. And he got a pity invite because his father went up to a neighbor of his that he had just moved in and basically said, I want you to meet my son because he has a hard time making friends. So when he went to that pool party, he went up to these 2 women and got their phone numbers. I know, attractive, smart men who don't have that confidence. And then you have this creature thinking that.
Whoa there, princess. Whoa there, princess. You ain't got a whole lot. You ain't got a whole lot of room there to be talking about people's appearance there, my friend. Easy now. Don't make me say things I shouldn't say, but yeah, shut up. Anyway, on we go.
He's so good and he has this overbunding, confidence that he'll go up and have no issue approaching 2 women. It's really it
just shows, stupid, that he's not an incel and that he does have confidence to be able to talk to people, which is the opposition as to what they said he was. So once again, fix your face and shut up. Thank you.
Shows how much he thinks of himself, his grandiosity, and how narcissistic he is.
Here's something else from another student who's at a pool party that Lauren is mentioning here. They noticed the killer trying to socialize, but not doing a good job of it. They were uncomfortable and a little bit weirded out by him and said his behavior seemed erratic. Dr. G, imagine this guy coming into town and hanging out at the pool party and trying to get to know folks. Like, oof.
I know, God forbid that were to happen, that somebody new in town was trying to get to know folks. Jesus. Such a damn shame.
At this point in time, we all got to be guilty then because I can't live up to this. Really? Wow.
Good point. Once again, even you, Vinny, shut up. Now you're starting to piss me off too. All 3 of these people. All 3 of you need to just shut up, period.
Wow. It's tough because I think we've all been around awkward people that make us feel uncomfortable, but the way he does it is so extreme. When you think of everything of human behavior being on sort of a bell-shaped curve, like the vast majority of us are in the middle and there's some outliers. He's way, way out there. And so I think.
Is he really? Were you there? Did you get to see it there, Dr. G? You weren't there to see how it was. You're taking somebody else's word for it. So you have no idea how it went.
That was your professional opinion? Was that your opinion?
That's his professional opinion, which once again, he just truly probably should just shut up.
Yeah, he's got the credentials hanging on the wall back there. I'm just saying.
I don't care if he's God. He wasn't there. He has no idea what happened that day. So once again, he just needs to shut up.
It sounds like pretty much everybody identified him as someone who there was something strange about him beyond just being awkward.
Another woman at the pool party, the killer approached her and started talking with her about taking a personality test for introverted and extroverted personalities. She found the killer's conversation about personalities to be a weird topic to discuss at a party and became bored of the conversation. They exchanged phone numbers so he could text her a link to take a survey. She never saw him again after the party. He did text her sometime later asking if she had taken the survey. She never did respond, and shortly after changed her cell number and purchased a new phone. Dr. G, this woman's, radar for danger, I think, was activated by this guy. She knew that this guy was trouble.
Absolutely. And he also is somebody who is incredibly arrogant. He likes to show off how smart he was, which is probably why he wanted her to take that personality assessment or whatever it was so that he could talk about his knowledge about it. Maybe somehow make him feel like he got leverage over her because he would probably.
No, he was new in town, didn't know people, and he is a slight bit awkward because once again, dumbass, he has autism, okay? So he's trying to find some way to break the ice to talk to people, to get to know people because he's different. Just like his father said, he has a hard time making friends. Since you're such a doctor, Dr. G, how about stopping and thinking about that? Or, as I've been saying all day, shut the fuck up.
Find some way to try to make her feel bad about whatever her results were. That's how predators like him operate. So people need to trust their gut. There's just sometimes we just know when somebody is off, and it's beyond just making us uncomfortable. And I'm glad that some people were able to do that. It's so tragic and unfortunate how far he got and how far he was able to escalate all of this.
Yeah. Lauren, we have about 20 seconds left, but could you imagine someone coming up to you at a party? Hey, you want to take a survey?
Oh my gosh. You know, this guy was just, they found out that he had 18 contacts in his phone. Can you imagine being a 30-year-old man and only having 18 contacts? And those were family included. So this.
Oh my God.
Because you have what, 20? Because nobody likes you? Come on. Really?
Come on, man. Really? I got 18 contacts. Oh, no.
Here's my problem, okay? This is why I'm so pissed off right now about this. My son has dealt with the same things because he's autistic and he's a little different, okay? And he has a hard time making friends. And my son would start a conversation that's different like that. So once again, each one of this bald fuck over here and this fat bitch over here can shut both their fucking mouths. I don't understand how either one of you can do what you do when you're going to describe somebody and you're going to decide to make a decision on somebody you have no idea of, knowing that he is autistic. Fact, okay? So you're basically shaming him because of that. This makes me absolutely fucking sick. I'm sorry. Grow up.
Friendships or start them.
Great to have both of you with us tonight. Lauren Vellucci, Dr. G, Dr. John Paul Garrison. Thank you so much. Great to see you. All those red flags were identified in real time. The question is, how would anyone ever suspect that he would actually do what he did? Right? You see the red flags, but no one's going to think that he's going to actually murder 4 people. Now, I know all of us know someone who's awkward, maybe strange, but think about it. Would you ever suspect that that person that you think is strange in your life would be a serial killer? And even if you did, would you say anything to anyone? I'm Vinny Politan. We'll keep digging.
Idiot. I'm sorry, you guys, but that fired me up beyond a level that I can't even explain to you. My son has gone through those same exact things. He's had issues making friends. He's been the person that has 10 or 12 contacts in his phone. To make that statement makes me want to throw up on myself. Shame on you. Just, oh my God. You have no right to judge people that you don't know. Maybe he was doing everything he could to try to make friends, to try to fit in. And you're going to judge him for that. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry I made that statement, but I'm so hot right now. I can feel my blood pressure going up. To make that statement is so disgusting to me. Shame on you. God, shame on you.
It's all over this place, man. It's all over this case. It's not just them, it's everybody else is tied into the case. Even the prosecutors, all the law enforcement that was tied into the case, they all have treated this guy unfairly. Very unfortunate that this is what our country is into now. Sad to say. But here it is. This is it. This is who we are now as a country.
So if you're different, you have a hard time making friends, you're a little awkward, you're smart. That's a problem now because you're smart. You're a bad person. Wow.
I just, all that time in school, criminology, and having that goal of being in some form of law enforcement, detectives, which is a good thing to get into, and to have that goal in life be your downfall, it's crushing.
It's disgusting.
It is. and everybody's just endorsing this. And it's not just this case, folks. It's all over mainstream media.
Well, I only ran that video because it was talking about Kaylee being the target. That was my whole process and my whole topic, and they went that direction with it. So I won't do that again.
No, you're good, Dago. I mean, it's a good thing that you went ahead and shared that, because everybody needs to see that. You know, especially if you're not tied into the mainstream media. I can't even tell you the last time I sit down and watch a local newscast. It's so bad. It really is. So.
I watch local, but national, no. But this is just that burnt me so bad, you guys. I feel bad for what I just said in here, but I don't at the same time, because these are people that are running things for us. There are educators and PIs and a doctor, for Christ's sakes. I don't know. No, that's not even close to okay. Like I said, my son's one of the most wonderful people you ever meet in your life. He's got the biggest heart of any child person you'll ever meet. He's very friendly. He's very open. He's very fun. He's very talented. And he's done every one of them things that they just said. So you need to fix yourself. You're only saying that because you don't know him. 1, 2, the rest of the world is saying he committed a crime. That's why you're saying it. Both of them. It just, I'm so hot right now. Jesus Christ. Anyway. So as we're moving forward, sorry, again. That was a mistake. But anyhow. One of the main topics I wanted to talk about was a lot of, like I said, a lot of what we were reading in these reports have a tendency to make full circle and point back to Kaylee as a possible target with this. Okay. That's where I was going. And I thought that's where that was going, but I guess I was wrong. And my apologies for that too.
I kind of heard something about Dylan was the reason for Kaylee to come back.
She was. She went and picked it. She wanted Kaylee to be her +1. That's another point too. She wanted Kaylee to be her +1 at the formal they were going to be going to. Hey, Fizzy, good to see you. So she called her and asked her a couple of times. Kaylee never got back to her. So Dylan took it upon herself to drive to Rathdrum, where they're from, 2 hours from where she lives, 2 hours from Moscow, to talk to Kaylee about coming back to Moscow to do this, which Kaylee didn't want to do. For whatever reasons were going on, she didn't want to do that. She didn't want to be there. But Dylan was insisting on this and wanted her to be her +1. Dylan could have picked anybody, but she wanted Kaylee. And I don't care what you say to me. That is suspicious to me as hell. It's very interesting that she goes, she talks her into this. Kaylee finally, and that came from Kaylee's mother's mouth, okay? Kaylee finally decided to do it. Okay, I'm going to do it. I can show Maddie my new car, blah, blah, blah. It'll be fun. Because Kaylee was done. Okay, she was graduating that Tuesday, and on she was going to Texas. So anyway, she was going to do Europe first and then Texas. But anyway, so she does it, and it's convenient that she does it and never leaves. She dies that weekend. You're going to tell me that that's a coincidence, right? I do not believe that. With everything else that we're seeing about Dylan and the lies from law enforcement and Dylan, maybe Dylan didn't know what was going to happen as dramatically as it did. She knew something, and I feel like she was told to do that she was put up to that at this point. That's my opinion. You guys don't have to believe that, and I don't expect you guys to. At this point, though, I don't understand how it could be seen any other way. I feel like it was done on purpose. For whatever reason there was, bring her back here. We're going to confront her about this, that, or whatever else. And it went way bad.
Well, who else was involved too, Dago? Was it her Kaylee's boyfriend? Them two are constantly breaking up too behind that. because she was
Wait,
trying to go.
I didn't.
I was asking you about her boyfriend, Kaylee's boyfriend.
Yeah,
They was constantly breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, and all that too. So what was it about Texas that she had a job down there? Was she meeting somebody down there?
She had a job. She had a new job down there, and she was moving in with another roommate, a male roommate, mind you. And she was dating other people besides her and Jack had broken up. I think it was 6 months. Okay, but she had dated 3, 4, 5 other different people since that breakup before up to this point. Um, and that should be being looked into as well. But just saying, she was moving on. She was taking the dog. She was moving to Texas. She has a new male roommate that she's going to be moving in with down there. That's the way it was put. Is what's the truth behind it? Hopefully that's it. We don't know, but that's what we're told. And it was going to be a brand new start for her. Basically, yeah. What Cat Lady just said, a fresh start, a new beginning for Kaylee, because her and Jack had become more friends than like a couple. Okay, they had grown apart, so on and so forth. So, and it seemed to be that they were, well, I know guys can hide things when they need to. I'll just leave that there. We don't know what was talked about behind her back, how he felt behind her back, but he put on a good show. I'll say that much at least, okay? That he was comfortable with it. Maybe he really was. And maybe he was really okay with it. They cleared him. But at this point, that doesn't mean anything to me. They cleared a lot of people that I feel like they shouldn't have.
No, I heard a report that he was pretty upset with her about the dog. He didn't want her to take the dog. He wanted to keep it. I wonder.
He may have wanted to. That could be. That's possible. Yes. What about the question of somebody not wanting her to get that job in Texas? How about that? Good point. Very good point. Wonder why. And it may not even be Jack, guys. There could be somebody else that was upset or jealous or overly attached to her, possibly. Once again, she was a very attractive woman. Okay. Very attractive. Any guy that would look at her and not be interested in her, you need your head checked. She's beautiful. So there again, it would be very hard. And guys have a tendency, folks. I'm one for falling for women. Facts. That's the one thing that God did to us that I think was a joke. He definitely made it hard for us to survive without women because they're amazing. Period. Okay. And she was smart, beautiful. She was obviously good at what she was going to work for, all that stuff. Any guy's dream. So it's very possible that somebody could have been, this does look like, and it always was looked at as the possibility of a crime of passion. In the very beginning, it was looked at that way, and it always has. Excuse me, sorry.
Did we ever find out what she told Adam?
What Maddie said? No, but I feel like that's a real important conversation.
Because I remember in that grub truck, that little video of her, she was on her phone the whole damn time while Maddie was up there getting the food. She's constantly on that phone, just looking at that phone the whole time. I'm sure they was playing off old Showalter because he was back there. I don't know, but speculating.
And listen, I'm not saying that this is a fact, you guys, because me personally, I thought that Xana was the target. Okay, Xana and Ethan possibly. I'm just telling you that what we've been reading is reports over the past couple of days has had a tendency to, like I said, go full circle and point back to Kaylee in a lot of aspects. And I'm just bringing this up as a possibility. Could Kaylee have been the target? And there's many reasons why you could see it that way. And I'm just that's why we're discussing it like this, because I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are as to how or why. And that conversation is kind of interesting. Whatever Maddie was saying to Adam that night, she told the whole thing to him. Supposedly, Showalter said, you know, we're going to get you for that. I never clearly heard that, but I'll take everybody's word for it. And then he becomes, in my opinion, quite a suspect. He was one of the suspects.
Remember, Dago, that was when they was walking from the bar to the
Yes.
truck.
Right.
And you can hear Maddie ask her, said, did you talk to Adam? And she said, yes.
I told Adam
everything. She said she did. What did you tell her? I want to know what you told Adam.
We all do, because I think, and once again, God bless and God rest her soul, Miss Sherry Wisdom Speaks told me in the beginning that statement, she said, is probably the key to this.
Mm-hmm.
I have to agree with her.
And who is they? Because whoever was with her, I don't know if it was Showalter or somebody.
Who is they?
They're gonna get you for that,
right? That's what I want to know. And for those of you that don't know this, that Jack Showalter was a person of interest and then became an actual suspect at some point. And I absolutely can see why.
So in the new documents, Diego, I think I heard you said earlier about Showalter's, they did a blood test on his apartment and that some of the breath spots or red stains didn't come back.
No, there was a couple that were negative for blood, but there was a few others that on the shower curtain and on the wall by the toilet, by the light switch, that all came back positive. Now, here's my question to that statement. If you had enough blood to test them for them to come back positive in that aspect, you're going to tell me you didn't test them to see who they may have matched? Where's that info at? Oh, wait. Sorry. I'm pretty sure that stuff got ruined when the refrigerator was left open. So now, therefore, all those swabs got ruined, so they couldn't do that, right?
I would believe it.
I'm calling bullshit again. That was once again done on purpose. For whatever reason, I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know, because I don't know. But I'm not comfortable with Jack Showalter at this point at all. I got over that in the midway through. They cleared him. They didn't talk about him. There was nothing else with it. But now that I'm reading this, I'm very highly uncomfortable with him at this point as a suspect, knowing that he was a suspect.
Who was it? Pavarotti. I watched his video. Shout out to him. Mentioned somebody that picked up. Who was it? Was it Maddie and Kaylee from the grub truck? And that
Eric
state
Gower.
Police had an interview with him, and they was looking at him pretty hard.
Eric Gower, yeah, he's been through these reports become quite impressively suspect as well.
I can't remember other names that was mentioned.
Yeah, Eric.
Was,
Jack DeCore, Jack Showalter, and Cole Berenberg were basically their suspects, persons of interest, and everybody. Cole Berenberg had a alibi, or two of them, I think he said, and DeCore was cleared, and Showalter was cleared, but was he? Okay. That's the one I think Pop said was a little shaky there, because they didn't put his name on that list. And you got to wonder, because the Showalter family is very, very important in that town with that college and has some very important people in his family. And they have donated a lot of money to the college. So there's a good reason for that name to get washed away. And
yeah, because everybody on that list had to have some form of important ties to either that college or the town to go, hey, I'm sorry, I'm just paraphrasing. We really need to start looking at other alternatives, because we can't do this. We can't put them in jail because of this reason. We had to do something different. I mean, Wow.
Listen, Jack Showalter was so much of a suspect that the police invented a reason to go inside his apartment. They made up, in my opinion, they've not said it, but I've seen it done. The man was out of town, so why in the hell would he call maintenance and say, "Can you go check my water quality? Give me a break." There's no way in hell. The police did that so they could get in there, okay?
And no doubt, he's probably down in Boise when he made that phone call.
I don't even think he made the phone call. I think they did, pretending to be him. That's my opinion, but just saying.
Yeah.
And Showalter's family, not family, his own friends were suspicious of him. They were saying things in the reports about him. Police are saying, "Who do you think we should talk to?" They were mentioning him more than once. He's not somebody that should have been around them. They don't, like I said in the one report, Jack Showalter is not their kind of people. He knew Maddie. That was it. And he lied. So many times did he lie in these reports. He claimed that he didn't know Kaylee, but he spent 2 hours talking to her the night of. You know who she is. He told his mother that he didn't even go out that night, that he stayed in and played video games. That's a lie. We knew he was out. Somebody even pretended to be his mother and called in a tip. When they interviewed her, it wasn't her. There's many people that think Jack Showalter is guilty in this sense, okay? And I'm not saying he did it by himself, but I do feel that he has some form of involvement at this point and knows something, okay? He had a bad temper. He was an avid hunter. He owned knives and guns. I'm just not, there's something about him I've never been comfortable with. And I talked about it in the very beginning. I was uncomfortable with him then. I'm even more uncomfortable with him now. He had blood in his apartment. What were you shaving with? An axe? To get it all over like that? No. Okay. There's something about that. And I want to know who that blood comes back to. Was it him?
See, that's questions that we won't ever know because they tore the house down. And they have it all over the house.
He had blood in his own apartment, Hemisphere. That's how they got to him as a suspect. And I want to know
but what I was saying. But yeah, what I was saying though, they can't compare the two. You know what I'm saying? Because they already tore the house down.
Oh, right. Yeah. I got you.
Unless they done put the samples in a vault somewhere and they still kept the samples, which the way this this investigation was going, it's probably highly unlikely that happened, but I'm sure everything's gone by now.
Right.
So it is what it is nowadays.
If this is true, he'll end up doing something else in his lifetime. Something even his parents can't get him out of. Agreed. You know, his mother, he's got his mother snowed. She thinks he's a good kid. Everybody likes him when, in fact, a lot of people don't care for him. Okay. He wasn't friends within that group like he claimed, or like his mother claimed, because he's told her that. So she thinks they were all friends and that he knew Kaylee very well and blah, 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 blah. No, Mom, sorry. She said it herself. I don't know much about this other than what Jack tells me. Well, there you go. Your son's lying to you, to law enforcement, and I want to know why. Unless you're that's what tells me he's involved. In some sense. I don't know that that's true, Paco, but it could be. He could be schizophrenic. Who knows? I don't know, folks, what it is, but there's something about him now that I've read this that just takes me back to like, oh my God, I should have known it. Wouldn't they have all the roommates' DNA on record so they can compare them? They should. They should. And that's what I'm saying, Cat Lady. I would like to know what that means. What they should have tested it. If they didn't, shame on you. But what it came back to. Whose blood is it? Is it a combo? Is it his? Is it what? I don't know. They did. They did. Yeah. Jack S is the one out of that group that really should have been looked into. And maybe he was. Maybe he was. And because of who he is, It didn't go any further than that. I will believe that before I believe much of anything else.
Wow.
Yeah, he skinned coyotes and put them. Who does stuff like that? That's insane. Okay. Makes me wonder if he's the one that skinned the dog. Wait, what? Whoever pulled the Idaho unalivings must have been a pretty good. Wow. Yeah, they did. In the beginning, they absolutely did, David. But I feel like that was a lot more just than what they're doing to Brian. Welcome, Phenomenal Mom. Good to see you.
I guess part of the reason why I'm having a hard time to understand Brian Koberger is because I'm not Brian Koberger, and I can't think like Brian Koberger. I just think like if you was to line up 9, maybe 10 innocent people and have them grilled like Koberger was grilled, and not show any form of reaction towards that, how many of them would show some reaction towards that if it's not true? I just don't get that.
I don't know. And yes, Jessica, some of what they found wasn't blood, but the other things were. Yeah, that's why he was kicked out of the frat house. He also has another friend that he hangs around with that they, of course, redacted, that has an anger problem, that's been in trouble, that was banned from the corner club for different reasons. And I gotta wonder, who's that friend? That makes 2. I'd like to know who that friend is. That wasn't liked by very many people. And Showalter defended him, saying, he's misunderstood. He's a good person, good guy, blah, 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 but this and that. Well, coming from you, I'm telling you guys, something was not right with him in the beginning, and it still isn't, obviously. He took off. He stayed gone through the holidays, never came back. They had to go to him. He gave his DNA. It didn't match. Oh, yeah, a girl at work slapped him. I remember hearing that, too. Brian had blood on his pillow and mattress. Doesn't really. There was nothing to it, though, Jessica. They tested all that, and it was probably from a nosebleed or something of his, but there was nothing of their DNA. None of their DNA from the victims was found to be in his apartment. It was all his own. And he had something against Sigma Chi. He was kicked out. Right. Exactly. 100%, David. That's all it's ever been and all it ever will be. Or it could have been anything like that. Yes. 100%. Inside your bones. Good to see you tonight. It takes an evil kind of person to do something, doing it. Oh, yeah. Guys, that's where it starts. A lot of these killers that we see and documentaries on, it starts off with them doing things like that, the animals and things like that, and they just slowly build their way up, and then they become the crazy that they are.
Yeah, Jeff Dahmer was one of the notorious ones for doing stuff like that.
Yep. 20 minutes from where I live, that's where Jeffrey got his start at, in Bath, Ohio. He would go out to his dad's shed and he'd do strange things with animals and this, that, and everything else. And guess what? That was the beginning.
Yeah, it grew from there.
That's what I said too. Bloody nose or something. It could have been anything. It could have come self-shaving or whatever. So either way, it was his own shit. So it's unbelievable. But like I said, guys, based on what we've read so far, we've seen a lot of lies put out, a lot of bullshit, a lot of things that are withheld that shouldn't have been, that tell another story that we're not getting. Yep, my dad did work at that house. Oh yeah, I drove by it a long time ago just to see it, and it's kind of surreal knowing that that's where it all started. Absolutely, SRB. We're probably going to be shutting her down here too. Thank you for being here. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Get some sleep. Yep, the little things pushing the envelope a little each time until he went full on. Amen. Yes, ma'am. Have a good night, SRB. Thank you again. So, like I said, guys, they're giving us reports now that are giving us different options, per se, possibly. They're showing us different things that they never told us. And these reports, on top of the Moscow reports, are just more proof that the PCA should have never existed as a document. It should have never. That Brian should have never been arrested based on what they had. And that they basically have shredded the Constitution, folks, in this entire case. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I didn't know if you've seen that. I was mentioning it earlier. Under what grounds would you say that he could appeal?
So many. 1 minute. Exactly, Kent. So, in my opinion, ineffective assistance of counsel, because the judge denied everything that the defense team needed and needed to have to be able to do this. So there's that one. I feel at this point, judicial misconduct, prosecutorial misconduct. Let's see. They completely and totally just completely destroyed his 16th Amendment. Well, and like Tomboy's saying, 4th, 5th, 6th, ineffectiveness of counsel, prosecutor, everything, basically anything with this case, Hemisphere, everything. That there's so many reasons he could appeal this. What's up, Chet? Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you joining us. Take care, Jen. Thank you for being here. Hope to see you tomorrow. And there's too many. That's why it will be a shock, and I mean a full-blown shock, if Brian does not appeal this.
You think he's going to go to the Supreme Court?
Well, I think the first thing, if they're smart, what they'll do is they will file for, I always screw this up too. Post-conviction relief is the best option, in my opinion. And hopefully that's what we see happen. If not, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, if anything. It could be nothing happens.
Yeah, my understanding about that, they can go up to within the next year if it goes that route.
Right.
Compared to nothing at all, and then everything is done.
Right.
We're done. We're not coming back.
What they need to do is get out of that court and away from those judges in that system. And I agree with Lucy. It'll probably be denied until it gets to federal levels. And then when the feds take over, in that sense, then they should be able to hopefully get this handled. I hope.
Something needs to be done. I mean, if anything that we can gather from tonight or get away from it, that's what that is.
Agreed.
The mainstream media is full of shit.
And yes, you are right. And every one of them needs to sit down and shut up, because you're telling lies. You're playing games. You're playing with somebody's life. Shame on you. You know that this shit is lies. It's been proven that it's lies, and you're still doing it just so you can collect a paycheck. Shame on you for flushing your morals down the toilet.
I think a lot of it stayed in Idaho too. So
no, Bobby.
How they're set up.
Right. I got you. That's a good point. Not ineffective counsel, Bobby. Ineffective assistance of counsel. That's a thing, okay? Because everything that they reached for, the judge smacked their hand out of the way and said no. Everything. That's another reason that could be filed. Not counsel itself, but ineffective assistance of counsel is what I'm saying. But yeah, you're right on that one there. I agree if that couldn't be it, because I mean, he still could do it, but it would be a little harder. Impossible to fight corrupt feds. They are half of the problem. And well, in some senses, yeah. I need Hippo to unseal Cyray stuff. Oh, I know. I want to hear that interview in a bad way. Definitely. Agreed with that too. All of that information being put out there should show it all it needs to be. Oh yeah, there's a lot of them, especially in that area. Happy, they're all important people too. Think about that. That's a big point with this, I think.
Thing about small towns, everybody know everybody.
Right. Oh, they probably won't, Heather. You're probably right. They probably won't unseal all of it because there, in turn, it's going to expose certain things that they can't have exposed. Think about that. That's why he was called a conspiracy theorist, because they don't like what he was talking about. Yes. It contained things that involve having to have a clearance. Bingo. Oh yeah, that was Brian didn't have a chance in the state of Idaho, in my opinion, to have a fair trial.
No.
Unless he goes up to them higher levels, and even possibly then, who knows? We'll see.
No, he had to be the one to have the brunt of all this, unfortunately for him. So they wasn't going to get somebody that everybody knew and be shocked to learn that so down the street did this. Because my whole thing was, and I was in a reactionary when I first heard it, was like, okay, if you did do this, since you went through all this time to looking forward to be exonerated, now you changing your place. So I want a full blown profession. And we didn't even get that. And the prosecutor said, there's nothing that Brian Kohlberg can't say. There's nothing that he can't say that's going to be all truthful. Right. It's going to be all lies. It's all going to be bullshit. Because there's just going, if he did that, it was going to go against their narrative.
Good point. Good point. And yes, Tomboy's right that unfortunately Idaho was the only place that he could and would stand trial. There, in turn, like I said, he never had a chance, in my opinion. And I do agree. Somebody said Megan Marshall should be in jail. I feel like quite a few of these people should be.
That's I heard about that yesterday. This morning about the lawsuit that I don't know if it's certain parents are involved or if not all of them have they're suing the Moscow PD for that. They're supposed to be having a hearing about this, the body cams and all that stuff. Too.
Right, Bobby. That's why I said the oh my god, post conviction relief is his best option, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. He also claimed he didn't know Kaylee, but then said she wasn't into drugs. She was a drinker, right? And that's another thing I have issues with. There's a lot of lies being told here. I'm questioning now, big time. I'm questioning because it's been stated in more than one of these reports now that there's people, even her own friends, questioning. Where Dylan stating that she was trashed and this and that, and she forgets this and couldn't remember that, and then at the same time made a statement earlier that day that she wasn't drinking. She wasn't into it. Really?
Yes. I think I heard her say something about she was feeling comfortable knowing that the killer was there. Who says that? Really?
No.
That was crazy when I heard that.
She didn't feel like it was a threat. Mm-hmm. That they were, she thinks that person was possibly there to protect her. Why would anybody protect you unless they don't know you? Yeah, and like I said, I'm really questioning. I wish they'd have tested her, done a toxicology test on her. Okay. Because at this point now, I'm starting to believe that she very well wasn't even drinking, let alone, because I was complaining the other day about how she can remember everything down to the specific details that went on in Vampire Diaries, but couldn't remember ridiculously stupid things for some reason. And keeps saying, "Oh, I was so messed up. I was so drunk. I was this. I was that." But had claimed to other people throughout the day and that she wasn't going to be drinking that day. There's actually something going on at the college where you weren't supposed to be drinking within the fraternities and sororities or something like that. And she chose not to drink because she wasn't into it that day. But did you? Something leaked that she might be arrested. Where'd that come from, Paco? I never heard that, but that would be interesting. It's important to bring up the food truck and the conversations that took place both inside, outside that food truck with Hoodie. That's what I was talking about. So,
well,
what?
knowing the story, all the stories we get from Dylan, it's amazing that she didn't get arrested.
Never know.
It changed all the time.
Something good may happen, and it could just happen there. Then all that money she got, she can use for bail. I don't know. We'll say it. We'll see it. We'll see it. We'll see it. I hope. I will be back tomorrow, guys, to pick up reading again. I just had to take a break from it tonight, but I did want to discuss a lot of what we looked into, things that we've heard through these new reports, ideals that I put together in my mind, and others I've seen saying the same things. Where the hell's Twiz been? I haven't seen him in a while. But that's where we're at, guys. But I think that's going to do it for tonight. We've been here almost 3 hours, and I don't want to drag you guys out. But one thing I do want to put out there before I shut this all down, because this is the mode I'm in from here on out with this case. People like Dr. G and whatever she was, Vinny, Smashley Trashfield, Frodo Anton, Nancy Disgraceful, all of them, these disgraceful ass reporters and these creators that are doing this shit, that are telling lies after lies after lies, knowing that they've been completely debunked. Please shut the fuck up and sit down and just shut it off. It's enough. Okay. He's in prison. You got your way. Why are you still going with it?
And you're leaking out stuff that he's in jail,
Stop
in the
lying.
cage. He's in his own prison cell, and you got pictures of his prison cell with him there leaking out. Who does this?
Right. I will.
If that's unconstitutional, I don't know what is.
Yes. Yes, she did say that. Yep, she did, Bobby. And she also said she didn't feel like there was a threat there. Make up your mind. I have no.
She had to be dreaming about that daggone movie. That's
she's a liar.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, guys. Before we leave tonight, is I'm just telling them all once again just to shut up, sit down, and be quiet. Everybody's done listening to you. Anyone else wonder why now the family's seeking injunctions? They're getting injections, huh? Injunctions. Where were they when Dateline Books had obtained the discovery? Good point there, Miss Lucy. Good point.
That was something that I picked up too, Dago. Is through all that the victim statements and everything. I think that was more for them than anybody else, because they've been quiet for so long, for 2.5 years.
Yep.
And I just felt like that was a big old huge vent session towards him.
Yep. Good point.
That's the way I felt it. That's just the way I see it. I guess everybody, feel the same way that I do about it, but that's the way I picked up on it. But
we'll see.
I'm just saying that if it was just for me and that happened to my daughter or my son or whatever the case, I would want to know who really did this.
Well, and that's
not
the
just
thing.
Some covered up, makeup shit.
I'm waiting to hear, because these reports just keep dropping left and right. I'm waiting to hear a Gonsalves family member make some statements about this shit. I truly am. I'm expecting at some point Steve to make a statement about what the hell is being read in these reports. And if he doesn't, then I'm gonna be real surprised. Okay, how are you still making the statements you're making? still in the same mindset you're in after reading any of this. If you are, I hope they are reading them. Okay, because they need to see them.
They definitely need to do something.
Will he read them or will he make a statement? I don't know. I doubt it, but I think he needs to.
The reason why I said earlier about Idaho was because it's the way that this whole thing is being redacted. It's redacted so heavily that we'd be lucky to put two sentences together. I mean, it's crazy. One sentence that I can remember was the whole sentence was redacted, but maybe 2 words.
Yep.
In that whole sentence. And that's
there was a couple of them like that.
So,
amen to that one, Bobby. Everybody says good night. Take a breath, have a drink, relax, so you can get a good night's sleep without this weighing on your mind. Amen to that one. And yes, folks, I will be back tomorrow. Please try not to think about this tonight. I know I'm gonna do my best, but I know it ain't gonna work for me. But try to get some sleep, and I will be back to read part 5 tomorrow. There's so much.
I appreciate you having me up here.
Every time, anytime. Thank you. I appreciate your opinion, and that goes for all of you guys. That's why I bring you guys up here to be able to express your thoughts and feelings on this, because everybody deserves a voice, folks, and that's why we do this. Thank you so much, Hemisphere, and I'm sure I'll see you somewhere tomorrow, hopefully. Have a great night, sir, and I appreciate you very much.
You too, Dago. Good night.
Absolutely. There's no way that he will be able to easily accept how these narratives are read. Way too much on it. Yo, amen to that one. Amen to that one, my dear. I agree with you on that. Everybody else here, guys, thank you so very much for joining me tonight. Great conversation as always, because you guys are amazing. Don't forget to love yourselves and love each other, folks. Please don't change a thing. You guys are the beautiful people. That being said, nothing but love for you all. Have a great night. Good night, and God bless, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Let's get it. This ain't no slow burn. This a new chapter. There go Cafe the Meatballs. Yeah, we locking it down. Late night, no sleep, minding the chase. Found a new feed and I picked up the pace. The cafe, the truth, no lies on the table. Found my whole fam and this shit ain't a fable. Used to feel lost, feeling jill like a ghost. Now I got a whole crew, man, I'm feeling the most. They go on the mic, yeah, his voice is a beacon. Every time he drops true, my intellect to awaken. This ain't for the clout, ain't for the quick fame. This for the lost ones that they forgot the name. We watching the cases, we digging in deep. While the whole world out here is still fast asleep. For the cafe, this for the whole fam. This for the real ones that don't give a damn. We holding it down, yeah, we sticking to the code. The meatballs on fire, yeah, we breaking the mold. So thank you, Dago, you a whole leader. Built a real community for every single reader. Only on YouTube, but the bond is worldwide. From the cafe to the crib, yeah, we all ride. Let's ride. Ain't no merch drops, just pure dedication. This ain't just a channel, it's a new nation. We all in the comments, we all in the chat. We got a real bond and you can't top that. From the missing to the victims, we seeing the light. We standing for the truth in the middle of the night. You gave us a voice, gave us something to believe. Yeah, the meatballs, man, you better not leave. We loyal to the real, we ain't doing no faking. Every new video, man, a whole squad awaken. He don't need no fame, he just need a real mic and a loyal crew that's gonna ride with him for life. For the cafe, this for the whole fam. This for the real ones that don't give a damn. We holding it down, yeah, we sticking to the code. The meatballs on fire, yeah, we breaking the mold. Meatballs. So thank you, Dago, you a whole leader. Built a real community for every single reader. Only on YouTube, but the bond is worldwide. From the cafe to the crib, yeah, we all ride. Let's ride. Yeah. From the cafe to the crib, we all ride. Dago. The meatballs. To the last upload, man.